screwed it up again. And he came back and he did a second bar rescue, which is amazing how he would do that. But, it was not without him blowing his top as he does in every episode. But, that was fun. And then, of course, last night was Hard Knocks, the finale for 2023. Did you watch that?
I did not get a chance. I was watching the Cubs wrap up another comeback victory, dramatic fashion. Fun stuff last night for the Cubs against the Giants. So I did not it was a long game. It was over a 3-hour game last night.
How about those Cubs?
They played less than 2 hours on Monday. They played over 3 hours last night. But so I did not get to watch Hard Knocks.
Well, we'll get to baseball in a second because there's a lot of interesting things from last night. But good on your Cubs, my Phillies, Graders, Astros.
We're chasing down your Phillies.
It's going to be interesting.
We're going past your Phillies.
Well, I don't know. It all depends. I haven't looked at what the Phillies have left on their schedule, or the Cubs for that matter. So, yeah, it'll be interesting. They could, but they're both going to go to the postseason. They're both going to go to the playoffs. And the Cubs, nobody thought that at the trade deadline. I'm not even sure everybody thought the Phillies were. I felt confident in the Phillies, but man, oh man, the Cubs have been red hot. But anyway, so the Hard Knocks, spoiler alert, Aaron Rodgers is featured a lot in the show. Spoiler alert. Surprise. Shock.
He didn't get cut?
He did not get cut.
But for sure he was one of the cuts.
You know what they did also? They're getting a little soft. They had a couple of the guys, they come into the room with the general manager and then with Robert Saleh, the head coach. And these guys that they showcased were, they may have 50-50 probably to make the team, and they both made the team. So they featured the guys that made the team. So it was great. It was joyous.
Was it the two wide receivers?
It was the two wide receivers. They did not show any of the other guys like coming into the room and getting the word. They had a little montage of the guys kind of cleaning their locker, walking away with the sad music. It's kind of like, the end of The Incredible Hulk, walking down the road. But not a specific guy walking in. And I think they've kind of gotten a little bit more away from that. I don't know if it's they were dehumanizing the guys before. I thought it was great to see both sides of it, but I think they've kind of lightened up on that, so you don't see that. But the reason I wanted to bring up Hard Knocks was because Aaron Rodgers talked about seeing a UFO, and not some cockamamie, stupid story he was making up just for the show and kind of screwing around with people, like legitimately in his mind. And the two friends that...
Everything he said on the show was made up, so it's all fake.
Well, I think...
He might earn an Emmy for his performance on this show.
I know he's kind of thrown out a few fake smiles and hammed it up for the cameras, but this is one where I believe he believes that he saw a UFO. And he had his two friends that saw it at the same time, and he tells the story. And it's interesting to hear the story because I absolutely believe in UFOs. So I bought everything he said. I mean, when he talked about the fighter jets following the thing, I mean, it's just like, you don't make that stuff up. And unless you're on shrooms. And he had two other guys to back him up, and one was actually came on the show. So I thought that was an interesting part of Hard Knocks last night. There's some people that just don't believe for any second about that stuff. I'm not sure about you, but I absolutely believe it. Absolutely 100%. So I do not doubt that Aaron Rodgers saw a UFO.
I would doubt it.
You don't believe in it?
He might have seen something in the sky which he was unidentified to him. So I guess by the terms unidentified flying object, yes, he may have seen something that he did not identify.
So you don't believe that there's anything else out there?
I do not believe there are aliens flying around. No.
You don't believe in anything else? It's just everything we have here?
I believe we are the ones that...
Okay.
Yes.
And I respect that. I don't. I think there's other stuff. But anyway, that was Hard Knocks last night. Baseball, as you said...
What planet do you think they live on?
I don't know. I don't know where they come from. I have no... It blows my mind when I watch some kind of story, not story, but like a documentary or about space or about the telescope. I think we have a new one since the Hubble came out that's even way more effective in going into the far reaches of the universe, like where Big Bang started and all that. It just blows my mind how many things are out there. It's just vast space. It's just got to be something else. So, he talked about the thing going by. It wasn't just seeing the thing go by. He then saw the fighter jets following it. You don't believe him at all? You think he's lying?
I don't. No. Okay, so let's just.
He's not the only one, my friend, that believes that stuff.
I don't doubt that. There are other people that believe
declassified stuff from the government.
So you in this whole theory, you believe that there was some alien flying object, there were fighter jets flying it, and we just it's all hidden from us. We don't. You talk about these telescopes. We can't find any of these life forms with these, or we do, but they keep it all secret from us.
Well, I mean, they have kept a lot of this stuff secret, and it's become declassified now. But as far as the telescopes seeing these far-reaching planets and things of that nature, and stars and creations of galaxies, I mean, I don't know if they could specifically see anything like that, or they haven't, at least to this point. But I don't think this is like Nellie the Loch Ness Monster. I think this is real. I think there's something. I'm not saying
much more chance of the Loch Ness Monster than these aliens.
Nah, I'm not saying they're little green dudes or they're ETs or whatever. I just am not thinking that we are alone in the sense that this is it. It's just us right here. That's it. There's got to be. There just has to be. Now, whether or not that's I believe everything was created by God, so it's like God creation. But I just think, and who knows, maybe that's the future or maybe that's the past. Who knows what it is? I mean, don't you believe something else happens after we die?
I have no idea what happens after
What's your guess? You think it's over? Anyway, you can believe
in
whatever.
If I had to guess, I would say it's over.
Nah, there's no way. There's no way. Because I always get into the argument, what about, what happens to the little, God forbid, the little baby that dies right there after birth at 1 day old, 1 minute old. That's it? That's all they get? No way. No way. Anyway, this blows my mind. This kind of topic blows my mind. So I could always get into these conversations with, I don't always, but I could and talk forever just of theories. Nobody knows. It's just, my thoughts against your thoughts, against somebody else's thoughts. Not a debatable thing.
When he saw these things, was he in his darkness retreat?
No, he was not.
Okay.
He was. It was not in his mind. He was actually up. He was coherent. He wasn't drugged.
Were you
he
sure?
wasn't drunk. Well, that's what he said. I don't know. I wasn't there, but he has the two friends, and the one made an appearance on the show. I don't think they necessarily talked to him on camera. I'm trying to remember. You saw the guy. I don't know if he actually said or backed him up, and I'm sure
he wasn't an alien.
He could be an alien. Who knows, man? Randall Cobb may be an alien. You ever see those eyes? Those blue eyes, those piercing blue eyes, Randall Cobb.
Maybe they all are.
He's the apple in the eye of Aaron Rodgers, I can tell you that much. But anyway, we digress. Baseball. You talked about your Cubs. Jose Altuve, he may be from outer space. The dude's like 4'1". Yesterday, he homered in his first 3 at-bats against the Texas Rangers. The day before, he homered in his last at-bat. Actually hit 2 home runs in that game. So over the last 2 games versus the Texas Rangers, Jose Altuve hit 5 home runs. Little Jose Altuve hit 5 dingers, and at one point, over 2 games, 4 straight at-bats hit a home run. Babe Ruth, Jose Altuve.
Yeah, the Astros in this huge series with Texas in these first 2 games have just absolutely hammered them with home runs.
27 runs, correct?
Yes.
In 2 games for the Astros.
And yes, him with 5 home runs in a 6 at-bat stretch is pretty incredible. They had, and I don't know how many total home runs now they've hit in these 2 games, but they seem to maybe be flipping the switch a little bit. So as they have now moved into first place in the West, the Rangers' free fall continues. They're down into 3rd place now.
And they wouldn't make the playoffs, right? If the playoffs were to start today, aren't they about a half a game out of the 3rd wild card spot?
They are probably because of the East. They are a half game behind the Blue Jays.
Mm-hmm.
We'll see if this is if the Astros are this is kind of their push or whatever. But man, oh man, They are just absolutely crushing Rangers pitching over these 2 days. And Altuve, 5 home runs in a 6 at bat stretch is silly. Like that should never. First of all, you shouldn't even get, like, at some point you just walked it. Like the 3rd inning last night, I might have just walked the guy. You know what? Hey, he's homered in the 1st. He's homered in the 2nd. He homered 2 of his final 3 at bats yesterday. How about we just walk him? Like, let's not mess with this right now.
Because they're looking at it going, this is Jose Altuve. This isn't Aaron Judge. It isn't Shohei Ohtani. It isn't Pete Alonso. It isn't Ronald Acuna Jr. It isn't whoever. Fill in the blank. It's Jose Altuve. A great hitter, don't get me wrong, but not necessarily a big time power hitter. He's hit home runs. He's hit big home runs in his career, but he's not known for slapping that many home runs, and he did. So all the credit in the world. Now tonight, interesting, in Arlington, the matchup of pitchers is Justin Verlander versus Max Scherzer. Both were teammates with the New York Mets. The New York Mets, Jerry. This year, they were teammates. Now, Scherzer pitching for Texas, Verlander back in Houston.
Yeah, it's and the Rangers need Scherzer badly to go out and give them a good performance. 2 guys who were also teammates in Detroit. They've certainly been around together for a long time, and now facing off in what is a huge game, especially for the Rangers to try and somewhat stop their just complete free fall at this point.
So also last night, and then I got really, really lucky. So I had a free play for $10, and I'm like, what am I going to do with this free play? I said, let me pick out a home run hitter. Who's going to hit a home run? And I almost, I go with like Judge. I don't even know if Judge played last night. I forget whether I was looking him up and I didn't see him there. And I go, I almost went with Berger for the Rays. And he hit a home run last night. I pulled the trigger. I ended up going with Giancarlo Stanton. And boom, he hits his 400th career home run. And I won the bet, got lucky. But number 400 for Stanton. Stanton has had injury issues seemingly every year of his career. How old is Stanton, by the way? Do you know? Zach, can you look up how old Giancarlo Stanton is?
I would
33?
I would guess 33 to 35, somewhere in that range.
Yeah,
He's 33.
33, okay. All depends on health. But he probably has, 5-6 years left. I don't know what he has left on that contract he signed. But he's missed so many games and still has 400 dingers. If he was healthy throughout his career, he'd probably be well over 500 right now. The guy's a bomber. Doesn't really matter this year with the Yankees, how bad they are. But, it seems like he misses 40 to 50 games every year. Now, maybe I'm crazy. Just feels that way to me.
In recent years, certainly he has. He has not, but, he had years where he played 158, 159.
With the Marlins, right?
Yeah.
Most of the time? Yeah.
The first year with the Yankees, he played 158. But then since then, he's been banged up a lot. The 2021, he played 139 games. So, he's had some injury years, but he hasn't had he's played a lot of games.
Yeah, you got to play some to hit 400 home runs. So that was pretty cool last night, him hitting his 400th home run. I mentioned Ronald Acuna. Atlanta last night took it on the chin, finally lost the game. They're human. They lose to the Cardinals 10-6. But it wasn't Acuna last night. It was another home run for Matt Olson with 45. But Austin Riley, the kid out of DeSoto Central High School, 33 home runs now for Riley. 33 dingers for Riley. I don't know how many home runs the Braves have, but it's got to be way up there. Ozuna hit his 33rd. Olson hit his 45th. Albies hit his 29th. And Riley hit his 33rd. What, are you kidding me?
Oh, they are a just absolute onslaught of home runs. And that's what they last night on the Cubs broadcast on TBS, they kept talking about, because the Cubs and the Braves over this, I think it's the last 45, 50 games, they are the top 2 run-scoring offenses in I don't think it's in National. I think it's in baseball. And they were just talking about how that's complete. While they both score a ton of runs, they do it in a completely different way. Because the Braves, it's just home run after home run. Everybody in the lineup basically can hit home runs. And the Cubs don't really hit home runs. They do it by just stringing together hit after hit. And it's like, but obviously it works both ways. But it's hard to do it the way the Cubs are doing it in today's baseball, to string together a bunch of hits and not just have a bunch of 30 to 35 home run guys.
Right, exactly. Speaking of home runs, in that game, Nolan Gorman hit 2 for the Cardinals. Gorman, 26 home runs, but he's only hitting 233, so it's sort of feast or famine. But Jordan Walker has started to really catch fire. 3 hits and 4 at-bats last night. He hit a dinger, his 15th. His average now is up to 279. So in a season where he makes the opening day roster, he's in the starting lineup for the Cardinals, he's then sent down to the Redbirds, comes back up, gets it going again. He's really put together a strong rookie campaign when you look at the numbers overall.
The Braves, by the way, have 263 home runs on the year. The next most is the Dodgers at 214.
Do you know what the record is by any chance? I would imagine it was well over 300, right?
I want to say it was the Yankees a few years ago, but I don't know. That may not be right. Let me.
Okay. While you're looking that up, and coming up when we return, we're going to talk about the latest Mikey Williams news, and then we're going to get into our NFL predictions for the 2023 season. If you got some thoughts on who you think will play in the Super Bowl, hit us up. Text it in at 67129 360-8255. What am I saying?
The Twins is the Twins. The 2019 Twins.
Twins?
I know it happened just recently. It was the 2019 Twins.
How many?
307.
Yeah, 307. I knew somebody had gone over 300. I didn't remember it was the Twins. 360-8255.
2019 Yankees were 306. So that year, the Twins had 307. The Yankees had 306.
They just nipped them. Well, get ready for the NFL season with incredible offers from FanDuel, America's #1 sportsbook. Right now, new customers can bet $5. Just bet $5 and get $200 in bonus bets guaranteed. Just in time, right, for the start of the National Football League. Of course, college football as well. Postseason baseball right around the corner. And before too long, the start of the NBA season and college basketball. Plus, all customers who bet $5 will get $100 off NFL Sunday Ticket from YouTube and YouTube TV. Now is the best time to join FanDuel. The app is easy to use. You can bet on everything from spreads to player props and who's going to hit home runs like I did last night. So many different ways to bet. So visit FanDuel.com/Gasman and kick off the NFL season with an offer you won't want to miss. FanDuel, official partner of the NFL. 21 or over, present in Tennessee. First online real money wager only. $10 first deposit required. Bonus issued as non-withdrawable bonus bets that expire 7 days after receipt. Restrictions apply. See terms at FanDuel.com/sportsbook. Gambling problem, call TN Redline at 1-800-889-9789. NFL Sunday Ticket offer ends on September 18th, so don't delay. No refunds. Terms and embargoes apply. $100 off NFL Sunday Ticket, not YouTube TV. YouTube TV base plan required to watch YouTube television. Redemption requires a Google account and current form of payment. Commercial use excluded. Subscription renews. Cancel at any time.
The Braves, as of this article from 5 days ago, at that point, and I didn't do the math here, but at that point, the Braves were on pace to hit 306.8 home runs.
So they will threaten the record. All right, when we come back, Mikey Williams news from yesterday, NFL picks. This is Sports 56 Mornings with Greg and Eli on Real Sports Talk, Sports 56 and 98.5 FM.
We are Real Sports Talk. Sports 56 WHBQ. Available on your radio dial at 560 AM and 98.5 FM, as well as around the world online at sports56whbq.com. Take us with you everywhere by downloading the Sports 56 app. And at home, just say, Alexa, play Sports 56. Wherever you are, stay tuned in to Real Sports Talk. Sports 56 and 98.5 FM.
Hey fellas, Bill Russell here at Russell Brothers Fine Jewelers, and I've got a question for you. When was the last time you surprised your wonderful lady with something nice for absolutely no reason at all? Not a birthday, not an anniversary, but for no reason other than to show her that you do not take her and all she does for you for granted. For 38 years, we've been helping Memphis men show their ladies how grateful they are to have them in their lives. For special occasions, well, gifts are expected, but a lot of time the unexpected presents given for no reason other than love have the most impact and say the most to her. Those gifts say you care all the time. The size or the price of the gift is of very little importance. It's the thought you put into it that will make her smile. Come see me, Bill Russell at Russell Brothers Fine Jewelers. Let us help you find just the right thing, large or small, that will let her know how you feel. Russell Brothers, 4646 Poplar at Perkins.
Now your ideas don't have to wait. Now they have everything they need to come to life. Dell Technologies and Intel are creating technology that loves ideas, loves expanding your business, evolving your passions. We push what technology can do, so great ideas can happen right now. Find out how to bring your ideas to life at Dell.com. Welcome to Now.
Hey folks, Ryan McElroy here with Sunrise Buick GMC. I know the temps are going up, but the prices are dropping here at the Sunrise Super Summer Sale. Huge selection of new and used cars, trucks, and SUVs. Discounts up to $6,500 and a $12 million used car inventory. If you're not 100% happy with your car, don't pay another penny on it. Top dollar for trade-ins, or we'll just buy it from you. Bad credit, slow pay, bankruptcy, it's okay at Sunrise. Call, click, or come on in to any of the 3 Sunrise locations here in town. Covenant Pike, Wolf Chase, or Carnival, come check us out at sunrisememphis.com. We make it fun to buy a car.
For the ones who work hard to ensure their crew can always go the extra mile, and the ones who get in early so everyone can go home on time, there's Grainger, offering professional-grade supplies backed by product experts so you can quickly and easily find what you need. Plus, you can count on access to a committed team ready to go the extra mile for you. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Is your roof leaking? Do you have water damage on your ceiling of your home or business? Do you need assistance gathering much-needed data and images from your storm-damaged roof for an insurance claim? Call Metro Builders, roof and restoration specialists, and schedule your free inspection. At Metro Builders, our team of Hague-certified technicians and fully trained estimators are ready to come out and evaluate any concerns you may have. Metro Builders Roof and Restoration. We accept all insurance carrier scopes. Call Metro Builders now. Each and every day, we provide clients many different types of data and estimates for their insurance carrier. These include estimate and photo reports of all damage, from the roof to water damage on rafters and ceilings and even studs and plates inside walls. Check out the local BBB for our 27-year history in construction in Memphis, or check us out online today at metrobuildersmemphis.com. That's metrobuildersmemphis.com for your local residential and commercial roofing and restoration experts. Call me. 901-375-1717. That's 901-375-1717.
Hi, everyone. Greg Aston for FanDuel. Add a little excitement to your sports watching experience by betting on all the action on FanDuel Sportsbook. There's a reason why FanDuel is America's #1 sportsbook. Their app is simple to use. They've got great odds on all different betting markets, unique fun bet types like same-game parlay, and exclusive always-on promotions such as enhanced odds boosts on the biggest events to let you get more action out of every game day. And if you win, they even get you your winnings safely in as little as 24 hours. If you've never tried FanDuel Sportsbook, what are you waiting for? Just go to FanDuel.com, use Gas Manager promo code to get in on the action. All in an app that's safe, secure, and super easy to use. Just go to FanDuel.com, again, use Gas Manager promo code to join now or sign into your FanDuel Sportsbook account. Must be 21 or over, present in Tennessee. First online real money wager only. $10 deposit is required. Refund issued as non-withdrawable bonus bets that expire in 14 days. Restrictions apply. See full terms at FanDuel.com/sportsbook. Gambling problem? Call Tennessee Redline at 1-800-889-9789.
Sports 56 traffic.
We got a lot of accidents on the roadways. Bellevue at Macklemore, that's Bellevue at Macklemore. Also, accident on Lamar at Kimball and Pendleton. That's Lamar at Kimball at Pendleton. Austin P. Highway West at Yale, accident there. Accident on Quince and Mount Moriah. Winchester at Mendenhall. Lamar at Holmes Road. and then an accident on Poplar East at Poplar Estate Parkway. So we're working with those handful of accidents. So please take it easy out on the roadways. This is your Sports 56 traffic update.
Now back to Sports 56 Mornings.
Morning.
On Sports 56 and 98.5 FM. Here once again, Greg Gaston and Eli Savoy.
Welcome back, everybody. 7:30 the time on a rainy start to your Wednesday, although it's not going to be an all-day thing. We should see some sun at times, but also thunderstorms in the forecast, possibly pop-up thunderstorms for later in the afternoon. We had a lot of rain overnight and rain this morning as well. Greg Gaston, Eli Savoy, Zach Boyd with you from the Family Leisure Studios.
By the way, we were talking some Major League Baseball. Congrats to Lucas Giolito. Accomplished something that had not been done since 1899 yesterday.
Would he give up 10 home runs?
No, but he gave up 8 runs, 8 earned runs. And he's the first pitcher to give up 8 earned runs in a game for 3 different teams in one season since 1899.
White Sox, Angels, and now, who's he with now? Cleveland?
Yes. It's a hard, listen, if you're doing something that hasn't been done since literally the entire 1900s of Major League Baseball, the entire century, it was not accomplished. And you are able to pull it off, I don't care what it is. It's a badge of honor.
What's the guy's name? Mordecai Three Fingers Brown? Even the guy with 3 fingers didn't do that?
Not in the 1900s. 1899, I can't remember the guy's name. In 1899 was the last player to do that.
Wow.
So congrats to Lucas Giolito. You got that going for you.
Could you imagine, though, in 1899, here's a guy who's played with 3 different teams, right? In this day and age, they have you all set up, you hop on a plane, you fly to your next city, you're there, you're pretty much able to play the next day or the day after. 1899, you get dealt. Of course, the teams were there were no teams out on the West Coast. I understand all that, but it's like, all right, get on a train if there is a train. If not, walk. Figure out a way to get to the city. And you may be pitching like a month from now. A little bit different as far as the travel, getting traded a couple of times in 1899 compared to today.
I didn't know he pitches for the Guardians. Like, he just got traded.
Yeah,
to the
remember
Angels.
we were
the Angels
talking about
waived him, and the Guardians picked up like all of the guys they waived.
Right, Zach. Remember we were talking about when the Angels had waived like 7 guys, and then all of a sudden the Guardians picked up 3 or 4 guys, and we said, wait a minute, they were sellers at the deadline, and then all of a sudden they turned around and said, you know what, maybe we'll catch Minnesota. So they became buyers here in the last couple of weeks and picked up these dudes. But I don't know what happened to Giolito. He was good at one point in his career, but he is pretty much toast now.
It's Billy McGee.
Me and Billy McGee.
Billy McGee did it for the Louisville Colonels, the Philadelphia Phillies, and Washington Senators.
Okay, Philly to Washington, not bad.
In the 1899 season. Let's see what kind of year he had overall.
So in 1899, he had to go from Louisville to Philadelphia. Louisville to Philadelphia. Again, I assume 1899, I mean, there were enough trains to figure out a way to get to Philadelphia via train from Louisville, I would think, right? There's no other way you're getting there other than walking or going by horse. Did they have any big wheels back then? Could you ride your little big wheel? And then from Philly to Washington, hop, skip, and a jump. But again, not for everybody back then. Now, it's a short little train ride.
Bill McGee, 1899 season.
Mm-hmm.
He actually pitched for. No, I thought he pitched for a 4th team, but no, he only pitched for the 3. He was 7-16.
Solid.
The 615 earned run average. Had 17 complete games though.
Oh, they were pitching complete games back then, Eli.
1 shutout.
Do they list all his pitch counts?
I'd have to go to his game log for that. He had a 16-15 year in 1898, and then boy, things went downhill for old Mr. McGee. after that year. Not that he was 16 and 15 with a 405 earned run average, 29 complete games in 1898. Then he went 7 and 16, 1900 he didn't even pitch. 1901 he was 0 and 4, 1902 he was 2 and 4, and he was done.
Gosh, imagine that. Guy's playing Major League Baseball at the end of the 1800s. I mean, still 20 years basically before the Black Sox scandal. Guy's pitching to big league baseball.
Oh, Billy McGee, 29 and 51 for his career with a minus 1.2 WAR.
There you go.
In the pre-war era.
It's amazing they had
in
war. The pre-war era.
We hadn't had the wars. We hadn't had any the world wars yet.
It's amazing how they had
a negative
still.
war.
Yeah, he had a negative war before World War I or II. But the fact they have all those stats still, that they know the numbers from these guys, just unbelievable. All right, so yesterday the news came down, and let's just say I'm not shocked that the Mikey Williams preliminary hearing on his alleged gun charges of shooting up a car with 5 people in it. So there's 5 counts, I think? Maybe even 6 counts, I'm trying to remember. But it was delayed again. The preliminary hearing did not happen yesterday. Has been pushed now to October 10th. Williams' lawyer, Troy P. Owens, Esquire, says new info is ready, and that's why the latest postponement. They have found new information. That was the reason for the last postponement, because, again, new discovery. What they're discovering, I don't know. It seems to me that this is a tactic. I have no idea. I am not an attorney, and I don't play one on radio. But maybe the longer you go, the longer you delay, say that you have new information. And I don't know. I guess you have to prove it to the judge. I would imagine you have to show it. But if you don't, just keep delaying it and hope that maybe the charges will get dropped. That these people will finally go, all right, we waited long enough. But in the meantime, can we put this thing to bed? He's not coming to Memphis. It ain't happening. I didn't think it was happening before. I never thought it was happening at all. And Penny said he's going to wait to see what happens Tuesday. Well, now that has happened, it's been pushed into October, for goodness sakes. The guy's not playing. Right? Can we all agree on that?
I guess the only possibility would be if something happens in October and he enrolled for the second semester. But, he's not going to be here
right
as this continues.
Right, not for the first semester. You're right. If all of a sudden they of course, if they drop charges at any time, but in the first semester, you wouldn't be, I don't think he's taking classes, right? He wasn't admitted to school. So I don't think that's happening. I don't think it's even a possibility, a remote possibility, unless I'm missing something, that he could play in the first semester. If he beat the charges, like let's say they went to trial or whatever, and then he was found innocent, and I guess conceivably could play in the second semester.
Well, if he goes to trial, that ain't going to be done by the second semester.
Right. Again, speedy trial is an oxymoron. Yeah,
that won't be done by the end of next year.
Right. I understand that. It's pretty much done. But I guess it's conceivable they could drop the charges. If that happens, he could be enrolled for the second semester, on and on and on. But then you're going to throw a kid in there second semester when you are rolling with the team you have. Hopefully they're rolling with wins, but I'm just saying you're going to throw some kid right into the mix. I don't see that happening. Is it a possibility for next year if the kid doesn't want to go and try to play professionally somewhere? I guess those possibilities still exist. I'm talking about this first semester, October camp opening up, unless the charges are dropped. But again, nobody can give me a full explanation about classes. I know we had the texter last week who said this is when you can drop classes and things of that nature. I don't think the guy's enrolled in school, right? So we're talking about October 10th. October 10th, at least minimum October 10th for the preliminary hearing that has not taken place yet. So that ship has sailed.
Mm-hmm.
That ship has sailed.
I don't know if anybody that disagrees with that.
Right. Well, if you read some people, they're still thinking like it could happen. It's not happening. Now, DeAndre Williams, again, That thing, you're at the mercy of the NCAA. If he's taking classes, I guess he's okay. I don't know if he's enrolled in school. I know he's working out in Houston, but you can certainly take online classes. You don't have to be physically in the classroom anymore. So that's the possibility. Other than that, I think now the roster is set, although I don't believe David Jones is in school yet. I could be wrong about that, but I know he had some visa issues with getting everything straightened out from the Dominican Republic. So I don't know if that has happened yet, but I know a few days ago it had not happened. So it's a roster that's still not completely etched in stone, but we're still, 6 weeks away from camp basically starting? Mid-October normally? Somewhere in that neighborhood?
Yeah, I think so. I don't remember exactly.
So we're still a ways away from that happening. But the Mikey Williams thing, again, what's most important with that young man is his situation legal. His basketball will come and go and all that. That he can worry about secondary. Right now, the main concern for that young man should be his legal situation. And again, this attorney, I don't know how he continues to find new information. I guess he's really good at what he does, or
he's got really good investigators. That's why all you're doing is you're continually trying to find information that will help you get a plea deal that's favorable for your client.
Right, or you're delaying the inevitable. You're delaying and hoping that eventually the people say, "All right, just drop the charges." Like time goes by, time heals all wounds. In this situation, of course, there weren't physical wounds because he did not hit anybody with his bullets. That's a good thing, allegedly. But I think there's also the tactic of just like if you delay, that maybe all of a sudden people have a change of heart and you get something dropped.
That's probably not going to happen. You're trying to get a plea deal.
Right. But you don't think that's a possibility? I mean, that attorneys do that? Delay tactics?
Yeah, they do delay tactics all the time, trying to get plea deals, not just thinking, well, if we delay this long enough, they're just going to drop the charges. The DA ain't going to just drop the charges for the hell of it.
You never know, though. You just never know. But what more information is it? Like you turn around now and go, it was never him. It wasn't him. It was another person. Come on. Right? I mean, this seems pretty obvious from everything that was gathered, from all the information that was gathered it was him. It's like Clue. It was Mikey Williams with a gun in the conservatory. I mean, he shot how many times or whatever it was, whatever they allege him of shooting, into the car. It's not like there's going to be some mystery dude that shows up that was the shooter.
It's all about leverage.
Like, did they find the Zapruder film all of a sudden?
It's all about leverage.
Corky's Ribs and Barbecue. You don't need leverage to go get some delicious slow-smoked barbecue. All you have to do is stop by. 4 convenient locations at Poplar Avenue in Memphis, Poplar Avenue in Collierville, Germantown Parkway in Cordova, and Goodman Road in Olive Branch. The Poplar Avenue location in Memphis, they refurbished it about, I guess it's a little over a year ago, and it's fabulous. If you have not been in there, head on in there. Have some lunch, have some dinner, of course, at any of their locations. If you want that no-contact delivery, just go through the drive-thru, get whatever you need, bring it back to your home or your office. Also, you can have DoorDash or any of those services deliver it to you here in the Memphis area. If you want something catered, you got an event coming up, a little office party, anniversary get-together, birthday party, whatever the occasion may be, they will cater it for you. Starts you out as low as $8.99 per person for that delicious barbecue. When you head over for lunch or dinner, add a third of a rack of ribs for just $6.99 when you purchase an entree. Maybe you don't want to go barbecue. Maybe you want to go catfish. They got an award-winning catfish plate, or tamales, even hamburgers. The rolls are absolutely out of this world when you get your pulled pork plate or whatever the entree may be. Cheese and sauces plates are delicious. Barbecue nachos are out of this world, and great desserts as well. Don't forget to reserve your private party room at either the Cordova or the Olive Branch location. It's Corky's Ribs and Barbecue, open for lunch and dinner 7 days a week. We begin our NFL predictions when we return. This is Sports 56 Mornings with Greg and Eli on Real Sports Talk, Sports 56 and 98.5 FM.
Add a little fun to your lunch break. Join Johnny Radio for Sports 56 Happy Hour from 11 to 1 every weekday on Sports 56 and 98.5 FM.
Start your day the right way at La Palapa with the biggest, baddest breakfast burrito around. Chorizo, cheese, rice, beans, and eggs served with fresh salsa, and it's served all day. La Palapa has daily lunch specials, all served with rice and beans, 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. Try a torta, breaded chicken, steak, chorizo, or ham served with mayo, avocado, lettuce, tomato, and jalapenos, all in a hoagie. Plus amazing soups and dinner entrees, all at La Palapa, 5255 Summer Avenue. La Palapa, the little hut with big taste.
How do you own the day in sports? You make incredible plays. How do the rest of us own the day? With Irish Spring. Fresh, clean Irish Spring scent and those sensational Irish Spring suds. You know what I'm talking about. It's like the perfect morning reset. You leave the shower all geared up, make today a grand slam or a slam dunk. Whatever sport you're into right now. When the spring hits you, you're ready. So pick up Irish Spring today.
Bartlett Small Engine has been serving quality power equipment since 1970. They have a full line of power equipment, parts, and services for most makes and models. Bartlett Small Engines has the best brands in the power tool industry, and they're all American made. Bartlett Small Engine is your can-do store. 6780 Summer Avenue. Call 901-386-9779.
Bartlett Small Engine has free pickup and delivery both at your home and curbside for lawnmowers, blowers, edgers, and any small engine. Call 901-386-9779.
Ray Magliozzi here for eBay Motors. Okay, easy now. You're teaching your kid how to parallel park. Ouch! Turns out he likes to do it by feel. Don't worry, eBay Motors has bumpers, taillights, trunk lids, license plate holders, 122 million parts. Pull up just a little bit. And headlights. They've got lots of headlights. Get the right parts at the right prices. eBay Motors. Let's ride.
They're taking care of beerness in Memphis right on the river with Grind City Brewing and all of their great products. Look, this was a dream come true for a father and son duo. And if you have not been to that brewery right on the river, just to the north of downtown, you're really missing something special. And now you can't miss their products. Wherever you go, you see a brand new label. It's clean, it's beautiful, it's distinctive. You'll know Grind City Brewing, and of course you know their products like Poppy's Pills, that great Pilsner, or Tiger Tail, that very creative craft malt liquor. There's the new Thaddeus Amber Lager. That is absolutely a great light beer. There's the India Pale called Godhopper. It's outstanding. And then there's the Belga, the Belgian-style wheat ale. They keep bringing hits at Grind City Brewing.
Now back to Sports 56 Mornings.
Good morning.
On Sports 56 and 98.5 FM. Here once again, Greg Gaston and Eli Savoy.
Text on the Sports 56 listener line, 901-360-8255. That's 901-360-8255, the Sports 56 listener line. Reggie says, are you saying Mikey won't play for Memphis or he won't play at all?
He's not playing
for
anybody.
While this legal thing is going on, he's not playing anywhere. In his driveway. Or, I don't know, he might even have an indoor court at his house. He's got a lot of money.
The dude allegedly shot up a car.
Yeah, while the legal proceedings are going on, he's not playing college basketball or anything. He's got to get that taken care of first.
Right. I mean, Ryan, he will play one day, I'm sure, somewhere once his legal woes are done. I mean, how about if he's found guilty, goes to jail? I mean,
dominate the penal league,
right? And then when he comes out of jail, will he get an opportunity? I mean, these are things again that nobody knows yet. But right now, while this legal deal continues to hover, this isn't. He skipped a couple of parking tickets and didn't pay for. This is legitimate here.
Ryan says at this point with the Williams kid, why would you even want the guy on the team? You keep saying how Memphis gets a bad rap about guns and crime, which hurts the chances of getting into a bigger conference. Where do you think that mindset comes from? Yeah, listen, if this was me, if I was Penny, this would have been a long time ago. I'd have been like, now Mikey, good luck. We're moving on. But, I don't know. I don't know what the thought processes are here. And there's the innocent till proven guilty. And if he didn't, if he's innocent, then he deserves this opportunity, whatever. I don't know. But if it was me, yes, I would have a long time ago said, listen, good luck with your legal situation. Call me when it's over.
Well, most of us would feel that way as well, but it's pretty evident that Penny has a relationship with this young man, and he's going to stick by him until he can't stick by him anymore. And so there's something to say about that coaches that do that even when their guys get into trouble. And so it's something admirable about Penny Hardaway.
But it is.
He will eventually cut ties here.
It's
but
funny to me that Penny will run off guys on the team who he's got great relationships with, but won't run off the guy who's not on the team who's got a legal situation going on.
Well, again, he's probably going to end up running him off. But right now, he's at least up until now has given him the benefit of the doubt. He hasn't spoken since the news yesterday with this hearing tabled until October, but I would imagine that the ties are going to be severed here soon.
You would think. But I don't know.
Okay. All right, so we don't have a lot of time, but let's start our NFL predictions for 2023, and then we'll continue that in hour number 2, and then we'll be joined by Jerry Palm. We'll talk college football as week 2 with many more games of note and of interest in week 2 as opposed to week 1, at least in my opinion. Let's begin in the NFC. Let's begin in the NFC East. The Eagles, of course, going to the Super Bowl last year, great run. I'll start us off. I think the Eagles will make another great run, and the Eagles will finish first, with the Cowboys finishing second, the Giants third, and the Commanders / Redskins / whatever the new name will be / football team will finish at the bottom.
I actually have the Cowboys winning the division.
Whoa, Nelly.
Followed by the Eagles, then the Giants, and the Commanders.
Zach, is that a homer pick by Eli?
No, I think the NFC's never had a repeat winner in like almost 15 years.
That's a good point.
You are. See?
Because I was thinking the same
thing.
thing.
The Cowboys are really good. Like, offensively, they're good, and their defense could be the best defense in the league. Let's not act like this is some crazy to pick the Cowboys doing that.
No, I'm just busting your chops. But I do have the Cowboys in the playoffs. But I don't have as much trust in Dak Prescott. I like him, but I love Jalen Hurts. I just think that dude is a pure winner. No matter what happens, who puts him down, who tries to derail him, he comes through. And I don't think the Eagles lost a ton of their talent from last year, and that's why I got the Eagles still finishing ahead of the Cowboys. NFC North, you go first.
I'm a believer in the Lions. I'm all about the Lions. I'm also not a believer in the rest of the division, so that helps out. But I can't trust Kirk Cousins. I mean, what the Vikings did last year to win all of the close games is virtually impossible, and certainly to repeat that would be impossible. So I've got the Lions, the Vikings, the Bears, and I do not love Jordan Love. I've got the Packers last.
So in recent years, I think it's an average of half the teams that made the playoffs the one year don't make it the next year. So we're talking about 14 playoff teams. And with that said, that would mean 7 of those teams that made the playoffs will not make the playoffs this year, okay, on average. One of those teams, in my opinion, is the Vikings. So my theory is along your lines. I think this is Detroit's division to win. I think they will win, although I don't necessarily like them tomorrow night against Kansas City. I know others do. Vikings, though, finish second. I do like the Bears. I just think Jordan Love is going to be a good quarterback. I really do. They have the faith in him. And then the Bears, Justin Fields has to prove it to me with the arm. He has the arm strength. He has to be able to complete high percentage of passes. If not, he's going to be just running and running and running, which he does effectively. But I don't see just big-time explosive offense from the Bears. I like them A little bit more than I did last year, but still not good enough to get out of the cellar. All right, let's go to the NFC South. This is a bad division, but they got the gang all together again in New Orleans with the exception of the coach. Derek Carr joins them. Jimmy Graham's back. Who's the wide receiver? It's always hurt.
Michael Thomas.
Michael Thomas is healthy now, supposedly. I'm going to go with the Saints. I'm going to roll the dice with the Saints to win the division. I got the Falcons finishing second. I like the Falcons' running game. They bring in Bijan Robinson. They have Cordero Patterson. I'm just not in love with Desmond Ridder as their quarterback. The Bucs, it's transition time for the Bucs. The Brady era is done. They won the Super Bowl a couple years ago. They will finish third, barely ahead of the Panthers. They have to get Bryce Young a lot of help. Offensive line, they got to be better on the defense. They got to get him more weapons at the skilled position on offense. So I think it might be a rough year for Bryce Young. It's not a good division at all. Saints to win it.
Yeah, I've got the Saints winning it. I'm just going on the idea of the best quarterback. And there's not much to choose from in that division. So I'll take the Saints to win it. The other three, I have no idea the order, but I've got Panthers, Falcons, Bucks.
Wow, you got Panthers finishing second. That would be strong for Bryce Young if he gets him to second place in his rookie year.
I mean, that's like a 6-11 type year.
No, I understand.
Might be 5-12 that gets second place in that division.
NFC West. Love this division. You go first.
I've got the 49ers to win. I've got Seattle, have another good year, finishing second. LA third, and then Arizona a very, very distant fourth.
All right, so 49ers to win it again. Can Brock Purdy do the same thing he did last year? The Rams, I think, bounce back strong. I know there's a lot of doubters, and they still got the Cooper Kupp injury that they're dealing with, and maybe the running back position is a little questionable. Cam Akers, as long as he's healthy, I think is solid. I think Stafford bounces back from injury, and the Rams do well. Seahawks third, but I think it's competitive between the top three. And you are absolutely right. The Cardinals are going to be so bad. We don't even know who the Cardinals quarterback will be for this weekend, for their first game of the year. Is it going to be Josh Dobbs? Is it going to be Clayton Tune? We know it's not Kyler Murray. He's on the pup. Colt McCoy was released. So absolutely crazy. We will break this more down, the NFC, when we return for hour 2, and then we'll go over the AFC and then go through the postseason eventually to the Super Bowl. Sound good?
Mm-hmm.
All right, we'll take a quick timeout. You're listening to Sports 56 Mornings with Greg and Eli on Real Sports Talk, Sports 56 and 98.5 FM.
Want to play a private country club but only pay daily greens fees? Meadowbrook Country Club in West Memphis is your place. You can now play a beautiful, challenging course for only $59 plus tax, including cards. Meadowbrook Country Club features champion Bermuda greens and now is available to everyone. A membership is only $350 per month and includes tennis, pickleball, and swimming, plus a great restaurant and bar. Golf Pro Mark can even fix you up with custom-made tricks on clubs. Call 870-394-4186 today for your Tuesday through Sunday tee time at Meadowbrook Country Club in West Memphis.
Hotsy Pressure Washers and Detail Supplies of Memphis takes it all off. They are the #1 cleaning and equipment provider, period. Big or small, Hotsy has the solution. From hot water and cold water pressure washers to industrial soaps and detail supplies, Hotsy has you covered. For our Sports 56 fans, you get 20% off all detail products, so don't miss out on this amazing deal. Call Hotsy today, 901-379-0550, or visit their showroom, conveniently located at Austin P and I-40.
5 Ash Roofing, it's what we do. Roofing and siding, gutters too. We're the pros you can trust to get it done right. Call on us. 5 Ash Roofing, the name to know. 5 Ash Roofing, the only way to go. 5 Ash Roofing, it's what we do. 5 Ash Roofing.
Is that not the corniest thing you've ever heard? Can you believe I paid good money for that silly jingle? Well, the experts say make it memorable, and I think I got my money's worth. 5 Ash Roof Services, proud partner of the Memphis Tigers and the official roofer of the Tigers home team. 5 Ash Roofing, 367-0050 or memphisroofer.com. 367-0050 or memphisroofer.com.
5 Ash Roofing, it's what we do. We're here for you.
We interrupt this broadcast for special news and information concerning family leisure.
The world's biggest spa sale is back and bigger than ever at Family Leisure. How is that possible? Well, let me tell you. You start off with 50 different spa models to choose from 5 different manufacturers. Then you throw in up to 30% off in-stock spas and swim spas. But is that all? Oh, no. You get free upgrades on all in-stock spas, plus 24 months, same as cash. Wow! This is the kind of sale that you just can't have every day, but it's happening right now at Family Leisure, the world's biggest spa sale. Soak in the savings right now at Family Leisure, Witten Road and I-40. You know the place where family and fun come together.
Please remain calm and walk. Don't run to Family Leisure. And now back to your regular programming.
When you think about insurance and you want great value without sacrificing great service, I want you to think one place: the Eflin Insurance and the entire Eflin Insurance team. Matt and his group of professionals will access 10 leading companies to find the right home and auto program that fits your budget and your absolute needs. The Eflin Insurance team, the number 386-GER, 386-4777.
We are Sports 56, WHBQ Memphis, and W253DF Memphis. Flynn Broadcasting Stations. Oh, yeah. Sports 56 traffic.
Still working a lot of accidents. Lamar at Kimball and Pendleton. Also, accident on Getwell at the State Line Road. Lamar at Davidson Road, Old Highway 78, working accident there. Accident on Winchester at Middenhall. Couple of new accidents, Highway 385 East at Riverdale. The left shoulder is blocked there. Poplar East at Poplar Estate Parkway. Accident on Walnut Grove West at Farm Road. Have a tree. Vehicle striking a tree there. And then accident on Highway 64 at Rock Creek Parkway. This is your Sports 56 traffic update.
Now back to Sports 56 Mornings on Sports 56 and 98.5 FM. This hour is brought to you by James Gaddis Jewelers.
Genuine diamonds, baby.
Here once again, Greg Gaston and Eli Savoy.
Welcome back, everyone. 8:02 the time. Hour number 2 here on Sports 56 Mornings, the Wednesday, September 6th, 2023 edition. Greg Gaston, Eli Savoy, Zach Boyd. We're in the Family Leisure Studios. Family Leisure, their world's biggest spa sale going on right now, 2120 Witten Road, just north of I-40. Currently, the sun is shining after some morning rain and thunderstorms overnight and clouds. It's given way to sun, but that means oppressive heat because there is a heat advisory in effect from noon today until 7 o'clock. We're looking at a high temperature of around 93 degrees with some high humidity, so should feel like 100, I would imagine. Chance of rain later this afternoon, including some possible thunderstorms. About 50% chance, clear skies tonight with a low of 70 degrees. Second hour of the program brought to you each and every day by James Gaddis Jewelers at 4900 Poplar between Mendenhall and St. Nick, and on the web at gaddisjewelers.com. If you live in the East Memphis area or just drive down Poplar Avenue in that area, you've driven by James Gaddis Jewelers millions of times. If you haven't stopped by, I don't know what you're waiting for. If you're in the market for jewelry, you're looking for that special ring or watch or pair of earrings, whatever the case may be, you need to go over and see James Gaddis Jewelers. Locally owned and operated, family owned and operated for many, many, many years. James is a master jeweler, certified appraiser. He's a diamondologist, and he's graded by the Gemologist Institute of America. In other words, he has all the credentials you want in your jeweler. They are full-service jewelers with 2 bench jewelers ready to serve you. All their diamonds are independently graded and certified. They know there's a lot of competition, and there is, so they make sure they have a price point to suit everyone's budget. They have 2 repair experts to help you with your fine watches and jewelry. Layaway and financing is available. They'll buy your gold, your silver, your diamonds, and you need something appraised, just bring it on over to James Gaddis Jewelers. 4900 Poplar between Mendenhall and St. Nick, and on the web at gaddisjewelers.com. All right, we've been talking NFL. Jerry Palm will join us to talk college football at about 8:25. We're making our predictions for the 23 season as it begins tomorrow night with the Chiefs and the Detroit Lions. So we picked our winners of each division in the NFC so far.
By the way, you were talking about the teams that make the playoffs and that hadn't the year before. Since 1990, so 33 straight seasons, at least 4 teams have qualified for the playoffs that did not the year before.
Yeah, at least since when?
Since 1990.
Wow, at least 4. And there have been recently more like half of them. So it is crazy how that happens. And then what Zach was saying about a different NFC East winner. How many years in a row now?
I said, the last 15?
I can't remember what the number is.
That's
it's
crazy.
a long time.
That is absolutely bonkers. Okay, so to recap, you picked the Cowboys. You have your divisional winners are Cowboys, Lions, Saints, Niners, correct? Cowboys,
yes.
Lions, Saints, Niners. I have Eagles, Lions, Saints, Niners. Okay, who are your wild cards?
I have the Eagles, the Seahawks, and I hope Brevin's listening, the New York Football Giants.
Wow, how about that? And I could easily see that. I have the Cowboys because I picked the Eagles to win the NFC East. I have the Seahawks, but I have the Rams. I'm just thinking it's a bounce-back year for the Rams, so I'm taking a shot with them. All right, did you break it down with each wild card, divisional? How do you have your playoffs formatted?
I just have a NFC Championship game.
Okay, that's fine. Let's go right to that. What do you have?
I have the 49ers over the Eagles.
I have the 49ers over the Eagles. Wah, 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 wah. So we're either going to be both right or both wrong. All right. And I want to talk a little bit more in depth about the NFC and the races and all that. We'll do that here after we go through the AFC. All right, AFC East. Great division. Should be a great battle. How do you see it?
Well, along with the teams that don't make the playoffs the year before making the playoffs, there's also in 18 of the last 20 seasons in the NFL, there is a team that finished last the year prior in their division that wins their division.
Wow. 18 of 20 years?
So that is my worst to first. The New York Jets, followed by the Bills, then the Dolphins, and then the Patriots.
I didn't know that stat. That's a cool stat, and they are certainly a great candidate to do so. Although I have not given up on the Buffalo Bills. Nobody circles the wagons like the Buffalo Bills. Bills, Jets second, Dolphins third, Patriots fourth. AFC North. Again, AFC East going to be a great battle. AFC North, I see that being a great battle. AFC West, not so much, although a couple of really, really strong teams. And then there's the crappy AFC South. But we go to the AFC North first. Bengals. Even though Joe Burrow's been banged up a little bit, hasn't signed the long-term deal, still got the Bengals. Ravens, a strong second. Steelers will be good, but somebody's got to finish third, and then somebody's got to finish fourth, and it's the Browns. But I don't say that kind of just throwing them out there like there's some slappies. The Browns are capable of pulling some upsets and having a really good season. Obviously, everything depends on Deshaun Watson, but the Browns I have finishing fourth.
I have the same order: Bengals, Ravens, Steelers, Browns. But I do think that's a very good division.
It is. I mean, between the AFC
If Deshaun Watson could find anything what he was in Houston, the Browns certainly have plenty of talent around him.
No question.
Just what I watched last year, he was awful. And again, now maybe having the year off season, everything else, he can be a lot better. I don't know. I don't know what Deshaun Watson is as a quarterback anymore. Maybe he really needed those massages to be good. I don't know. But he, from what I saw last year, he's not very good. And
I just remember how good he was, though.
I think Kenny Pickett will make the step forward. He certainly looked good in the preseason. Am I going to be surprised if the Browns finish ahead of the Steelers? No, I certainly would not be surprised by that.
I wouldn't be surprised if the Browns finish anywhere from second to fourth. I would be surprised if they won the division. But again, Deshaun Watson, before everything went crumbling down, was damn good. Damn good. So, yes, they are hoping that he can rise to the occasion. And he has risen to the occasion many times with those massages. Where's the no? Okay. AFC South.
I have the Jaguars repeating as the champions of the AFC South. I have the Titans second. I have the Texans third.
Oh, come on.
And I have the Colts fourth.
Come on now.
The Colts are terrible. Colts are legitimately in contention for worst team in the.
You have no confidence in Anthony Richardson.
I do not.
But you believe in the running game better than the Colts?
If you don't have Jonathan Taylor, you have Anthony Richardson as your quarterback. Your offensive line isn't very good. I just don't have much faith in your Colts.
Is Lydell Mitchell going to be the running back for the Colts this year? I'm wondering. The Jaguars first. By the way, is this credit go mainly, obviously the players have to play the game, I understand that, but mainly to Doug Peterson for changing everything after Urban Meyer did what he did?
Well, I mean, Urban Meyer was a disaster. Anybody was going to come in and, I think, have success. I mean, they've got Trevor Lawrence, who's developing now into a really good quarterback, and they've got a lot of good weapons around him. They've got a lot of good pieces.
I mean, Urban Meyer came in, tried to give them that, I'm the boss, you're nothing, kind of college coach. Not all college coaches do this, especially in this day and age, but the old schools did. And he tried to do that, and it just did not land. It did not work. Doug Peterson is a player's coach. The guy played the game at the highest level, so he's made a big difference. But I like the Jags. I like the Titans for second. I really don't know how good the Titans will be. They're one of those mystery teams to me. Obviously, if DeAndre Hopkins can do what he's done in the past and stay injury-free or relatively healthy, I think Burks gets better. Obviously, Derrick Henry's got to stay healthy. They could be really, really good. They could be average. I just don't know with the Titans. Colts I have finishing third. I don't like the Texans. D'Amico Ryans, I think, was the right hire. I think he'll do well. C.J. Stroud, I think he's going to eventually do well. I'm not so sure about Anthony Richardson. I'm hoping that there's a couple of games that Anthony Richardson, probably with his legs, takes over a game, and we're going, wow, he never did that at Florida. So I'm going to have the Colts third and then the Texans fourth. All right, AFC West, I'll go first. Obviously, the Chiefs right there. Chargers will be really strong. Broncos under Sean Payton. I don't think Russell Wilson can be as bad as he was, can he? For a second straight year? I think the Broncos improve, but they're not good enough, in my opinion, to battle those two. And then the Raiders, they could easily finish ahead of the Broncos. I don't think they're finishing ahead of the Chargers or the Chiefs. Garoppolo, can he stay healthy? There's a lot of changeover. They're still having issues with Chandler Jones and McDaniels and all. I just don't know about the Raiders, so I got him fourth.
Yes, I've still got the Chiefs to win the division. They do need to get the Chris Jones thing figured out and get him in. Certainly that would help. But the Travis Kelce news certainly doesn't help things if he ends up having to miss some time.
Right.
Should find out more about that today. Of course, this all comes out right after I drafted first in the first round of two different fantasy drafts. Thank you, Travis. Chargers second. I believe Justin Herbert will lead the league in passing yardage. I've got the Broncos third. And I just can't show faith that Jimmy Garoppolo will stay healthy throughout the year. Mm-hmm. And if he's not healthy, the Raiders' quarterback situation is a train wreck, I guess would be a good term. And so
you don't want to say car wreck when it comes to
so
Raiders,
I don't have I've got the Raiders fourth just because I just have a bad feeling about where that could head if Garoppolo, and I believe Garoppolo will get hurt because that's what he does.
So what is it about edge rushers named Jones in that division that have issues with contracts? Or, in the case of Chandler Jones, issue with the coach?
Yeah, Chandler Jones is a contract thing. He's just apparently mad that for some reason he couldn't get into the facility, and I don't know. He's
that was pretty strange.
He's upset with everybody.
All right, so
and Chris Jones isn't an edge rusher, but
linebacker / hybrid guy, but
he's a tackle. He's an interior rusher.
Is he an interior guy? I always thought he was an edge guy.
Best in the league.
No, he's great. He's a great player. They need him, and you had
other than Aaron Donald would be him and Aaron Donald are the two best. Probably.
And you had Travis
guys.
Kelce come out who got hurt in practice. He came out and basically begged Chris Jones, "We need you, right? We can't have the success that we need to have to win another Super Bowl without you." Basically, I'm paraphrasing here what he was saying. By the way, with the injury to Travis Kelce, he hyperextended his knee at practice. Status is uncertain for tomorrow night. So that could be something interesting if you don't have Travis Kelce. You have some young wide receivers that Patrick Mahomes is going to be calling upon. Some of them unproven. Kelce is the security blanket, and that's a good one to have. All right, so the Chiefs, the Jags, we both agree on. Did you have the Bengals?
Yes.
Okay, so we agree on that one, and the one we differ, again, is in the East, with you having the Jets and me having the Bills. So pretty similar as far as our picks overall. Who are your wild card teams in the AFC?
The Bills, the Ravens, and the Chargers.
I have the Bills, the Ravens, and the Dolphins get in. The Chargers do not get in. I got 3 from the AFC East, the Bills, the Jets, and the Miami Dolphins.
If the Chiefs, by the way, if Kelce doesn't play tomorrow night and Kadarius Toney doesn't play tomorrow night, Lions very well could beat them. And if Jones doesn't play, if they're without Jones, Kelce, and Toney, Lions very well might beat them.
The line is 5 right now, KC. 5-point favorite.
Yeah, it went down. It went from 6.5 to 5 just on the Kelce news.
All right, so who do you have in the AFC Championship game?
I've got another matchup of Joe Burrow and Patrick Mahomes. This one played in Cincinnati, and the Bengals get the win.
I'm going a little bit crazy here. People would say, yes, you are. No, as far as my picks are concerned. Because normally I keep it close to the vest. And it makes sense to go Chiefs and maybe even Chiefs-Bengals. But I don't have that. I have an all-AFC East championship game. The Buffalo Bills defeat the New York Jets, and the Bills will go to the Super Bowl. Super Bowl 58 in Las Vegas, Nevada. 4 different times the Buffalo Bills in the 90s had a chance to win a Super Bowl. 4 straight times. They came up empty. The Buffalo Bills, they're not being talked about like they normally would. The Buffalo Bills coming out of that rugged AFC. The Buffalo Bills will beat the San Francisco 49ers, and they will finally hoist the Lombardi Trophy in Buffalo, New York.
Bills are good. Josh Allen's really good. Not crazy by any means.
Sometimes you got to throw it out there, right? Take a chance. So you have, for your Super Bowl,
I have the Cincinnati Bengals taking down the San Francisco 49ers.
All right. So the 49ers, we agree on, will be losing in the Super Bowl. You got the Bengals, and I have the Bills.
I believe Joe Burrow gets an MVP award and a Super Bowl title.
Wow. Even though I wouldn't say he's disgruntled, but he would like to have the long-term deal done. And you certainly hope that this minor injury doesn't linger. Should be ready to go for this week.
If the deal does not get done before this year, after the MVP award of the Super Bowl, he'll be doing all right.
He'll be doing okay. So what else do you expect here in the final few minutes of this segment from the NFL season? Like anything else that just stands out that you're looking forward to seeing, or a team that we didn't pick that could be a surprise? What about those young quarterbacks? Do you expect all of them to struggle? You had the Panthers finishing second in their division.
Yeah, I think, generally, young quarterbacks in situations with bad teams are going to struggle. There's not a ton there around them. So, yeah, I don't think. But beyond the rookies, you've got Jordan Love, you've got Desmond Ridder, you've got other guys who are very little experience, even though they've been in the league for, Ridder only 1 year, Love a few years now. So you've got a lot of guys, a lot of quarterbacks who we don't know what to expect from at this point.
Well, you got the redemption story with Broncos quarterback. With Russell Wilson, you have the question mark about whether or not Brock Purdy can do it again. I mean, 1 year, it was a great story. It doesn't mean that Purdy is going to be that guy. I mean, nobody's anointing him Joe Montana yet. Can, as you said, Jordan Love be the guy in Green Bay? They certainly think he can. Can Justin Fields be the guy in Chicago? People think he can.
And I didn't even. Sam Howell is another one in that group of guys who are basically rookie quarterbacks taking over teams.
Can Dak step up and be that guy to get the Cowboys in the Super Bowl? What the hell's going on in Arizona? As far as their quarterback situation, it seems like they're already tanking. The Lions are going to be one of those teams that are darlings. They kind of became one last year to a certain degree.
And I like the Lions. I don't think that division's very good. I like a lot. And I know he's gone to a Super Bowl, but it's still a little. I just wonder about Jared Goff, if he can, if he is that guy.
Who's the first coach to get canned?
I would if there's an in-season firing, I would guess.
It's kind of tough when you look at it, right? The Cardinals have a new coach, right?
Maybe Ron Rivera.
With new ownership? With Josh Harris and company?
Or LaFleur.
Give me the Browns.
Stefanski would be on that list.
Stefanski is a great
If they come out and Watson struggles and they're losing games.
I think Zach is right if they struggle, yep.
They expect that they are ready to win. He would be on that list. I would say those three, Rivera, Stefanski, LaFleur would be my top three candidates.
Yeah, because we don't even know what the relationship is. It's developing. Ron Rivera, Josh Harris, the new owner of the Commanders. Who knows? Maybe they don't hit it off. And if there's struggles in Washington, and there probably will be, I think that's a good choice as well for somebody to lose their gig. We're not happy that anybody loses their gig, but that may happen.
Yeah. Then for me, just throw in I said the Browns.
Yes.
Throw in a Brandon Staley with the Chargers. And Tennessee Titans fans might not like this, but Mike Vrabel could be on the hot seat if Titans don't have a good season this year.
Staley, if the Chargers get off to a bad start, 100%. I just think the Chargers are going to be good enough for him to keep his job throughout the season. I don't think I think they'll be good because I have them the playoff team. So I think, if they go to the playoffs and lose first game of the playoffs again, then I think he could certainly be fired in the offseason. But I think they'll be good enough during the regular season. He's not getting fired in season.
Staley is a great pick again, Zach. As far as Vrabel is concerned, in that crappy division, if, let's say, the Titans finished last behind the Colts and the Texans, he would be on the sizzling hot seat. I don't know if they'd can him, but it would be close. But that's not going to happen. I don't think it's one of those deals where Mike Vrabel and the Titans have to win that division for him to keep his job because he's not going into the season on the hot seat. He's well respected. He's one of the most successful coaches over the last 6-7 years in the NFL.
If the Falcons get off to a terrible start, I don't think Arthur Smith is safe.
No, I don't think so either.
But that team was bad when he got there.
No,
but ownership. They're quick on the trigger.
That doesn't matter to these teams. Like they don't.
Arthur Blank may just say, "Let's move on."
If they don't think Ritter's developing, and they're really struggling in a bad division, I wouldn't be shocked at all if Arthur Blank decided he wanted to get somebody else to try and develop Desmond Ridder. That's the thing with these young quarterbacks. Like they're all looking at, we got to get the right guy to develop the quarterback, and if you don't feel it's happening quickly enough, then you're going to go try and find the other guy that you believe can develop that quarterback the way you feel like it needs to be done. So and the NFL just they're so impatient with everything. It doesn't matter what you've done, what you haven't done. It's what have you done for me literally in about the last 4 weeks, and that will determine what your fate is unless you're a Bill Belichick or somebody like that.
Nobody more impatient than Houston. But I would bet dollars to donuts. I don't care if they win 2 games. DeMeco Ryans is not getting fired by the Texans. Not this time. This isn't a David Culley situation. He's going to be there for several years, I believe. But they're not the greatest organization in the world.
Well, of course, the NFL season kicks off tomorrow night with the Lions and the Chiefs, and then you got a full weekend of action from Sunday afternoon to Sunday night, Monday night football as well. Of course, a full day of college football on Saturday. The place to go watch all of the action, well, that's East Coast Wings and Grill, located just off Highway 64 in Bartlett. Right there on Kate Hyde Boulevard. It's between Lowe's and Walmart there off Highway 64. Not only do they have the great TVs to watch all of the game and great servers, a great atmosphere, always a fun time. Well, of course, they've got great food as well. 60 flavors of wings to choose from, plus so many other great items on the menu. 24 draft beers on tap, plus any other drink that you want. You can find it all at East Coast Wings and Grill. Don't forget, Monday through Friday, 3:30 until 6:30. That's happy hour. That's 2 for 1 on those beers. You can't beat that deal anywhere in town. Ask about their rewards program, where you can get some rewards on every dollar that you spend there as well at East Coast Wings and Grill. Again, it's the place to go watch all the action just off Highway 64 between Lowe's and Walmart. East Coast Wings and Grill.
Don't forget to get your lists in for 5 favorite things, your 5 favorite NFL/college football helmets of all time. You can text in that list at 901-360-8255 or send it via Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, or send it to our website, sportsmemphis.com. When we come back, Jerry Palm from CBS Sports. This is Sports 56 Mornings with Greg and Eli on Real Sports Talk, Sports 56 and 98.5 FM.
You already know you can listen to Sports 56 anywhere with the Sports 56 app or at sports56whbq.com. But you can also watch us daily with live video of all of our shows on Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, and Twitch.
Hey fellas, Bill Russell here at Russell Brothers Fine Jewelers, and I've got a question for you. When was the last time you surprised your wonderful lady with something nice for absolutely no reason at all? Not a birthday, not an anniversary, but for no reason other than to show her that you do not take her and all she does for you for granted. For 38 years, we've been helping Memphis men show their ladies how grateful they are to have them in their lives. For special occasions, well, gifts are expected. But a lot of time, the unexpected presents given for no reason other than love have the most impact and say the most to her. Those gifts say you care all the time. The size or the price of the gift is of very little importance. It's the thought you put into it that will make her smile. Come see me, Bill Russell, at Russell Brothers Fine Jewelers. Let us help you find just the right thing, large or small, that will let her know how you feel. Russell Brothers, 4646 Poplar at Perkins.
If you need glass replaced, there's only one name you need to know. Binswanger Glass, the largest full-service glass company in the U.S. They've been an industry leader for over 145 years. For all your residential, commercial, or auto glass needs, Binswanger Glass is the name you need to know. 24-hour emergency service for all commercial customers, plus a nationwide warranty on all professionally installed glass. Visit Binswanger Glass in Midtown at 340 South Hollywood, across from the Liberty Bowl. Visit binswingerglass.com. Binswanger Glass.
Spencer here with ATC Fitness. There's no better time of the year than now. Football and fitness go hand in hand in the fall. And with individual screens on each piece of cardio and multiple big screens throughout the rest of the club, you'll never miss a bit of the action watching your favorite team. ATC Fitness continues to be the Mid-South's choice for fitness, family-owned for 30 years, and proud supporters of Coach Silverfield and the Memphis Tigers. Join online at atcfitness.com. ATC Fitness, exercise your right to look good.
For the latest from the world of golf, tune in every Saturday morning from 9 to 11 for the Golf Shop Radio Show, presented by PlayGolfMyrtleBeach.com, the golf capital of the world. Hosts Mark Greenhelge and Matt Blanchard talk golf from tee to green and everything in between. If you like golf, you're going to love Golf Shop Radio. Before you tee up, drop on in. Welcome to the Golf Shop, here on Sports 56, Real Sports Talk.
Sports 56 Traffic.
Still working accident on Getwell at State Line Road. Also, new accident on Chulahoma at Holmes Road. It's not far from that. Neither one of those accidents. Highway 385 east at Riverdale. The left shoulder is still blocked. Walnut Grove West at Farm Road. Still working with there. And then Highway 64 east at Rock Creek Parkway. The intersection is currently blocked there. Keep it right here. This is your Sports 56 traffic update.
Now back to Sports 56 Mornings on Sports 56 and 98.5 FM. This hour is brought to you by James Gaddis Jewelers.
Diamonds are forever. Woo!
Here once again, Greg Gaston and Eli Savoy.
Welcome back, everyone. 8:30 the time, exactly halfway home on this Wednesday edition of Sports 56 Mornings. Every Wednesday, we get to talk college football and then, before too long, college basketball with one Jerry Palm.
It's time for Sports 56 Mornings Weekly Chat with Jerry Palm, college football and basketball writer and bracketologist for CBSSports.com. Here are Greg, Eli, and Jerry.
Jerry Palm joins us every Wednesday. You can follow him on Twitter at JPPalmCBS, and he joins us now on Sports 56 Mornings. Hey, JP.
Hey, how's it going?
Going well. I know Jerry has bowl projections out there already. It's early. Yep. We'll discuss that here in a second. But before we do anything, 5 favorite things topic, your 5 favorite football helmets, college football or NFL, combination of the two. What do you got?
All right, well, number 5 is a black Oregon helmet, which got the yellow, feathers that go back on it, like the duck feathers. I mean, they have so many garish uniforms, but the black helmet is pretty cool.
Okay.
Number 4, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers pewter helmets, although I was always a fan of the original as well.
Really? You like the pewter ones? Okay.
Yeah, I like the flag, with the skull and the crossed sabers. Yeah. Number 3, the Saints and the classic fleur-de-lis. Number 2, the classic again, Chicago Bears helmet with the navy blue and the orange C. And then number 1, tough choice for me, between 2 different ones, but the Purdue Rose Bowl helmet, which is their old gold helmet with the black P and a rose intertwined among the P. And that's because how often does Purdue get to go to the Rose Bowl? And the Rose Bowl won't even beat the Rose Bowl anymore. So.
No, it won't. And speaking, go ahead.
But the other Purdue helmet, they 4 years ago, 2019, in honor of the 50th anniversary of Neil Armstrong's moonwalk, they did a full uniform where they had a white uniform that looked like the spacesuit, and a helmet with the P's had like moon craters in it, and the stripe over the top had Neil Armstrong's footsteps.
I don't remember that one. Did Neil Armstrong go to Purdue?
Yeah, Purdue band actually.
Was he really a member of the what instrument?
Baritone.
So speaking of the band, you were involved with the band last weekend. Unfortunately, it didn't help the team as they fell to Fresno State.
In fact, I think you could argue it hurt the team. Yeah.
What were you doing? Tell a little bit about everybody about that, and then about obviously, unfortunately, the Boilermakers' loss.
Yeah. So the band plays an outdoor concert at Slater Center, where a lot of people tailgate, and before the game, and they have a contest where you can guess at some crazy, trivia math kind of question, and whoever wins gets closest without going over, gets to conduct the band in Hail Purdue at the end of the concert. So my kid's in the band, so I've been wanting to win this so that I can embarrass my kid, and so. A miracle occurred, and I won this time. So I got to conduct the band in Hail Purdue at the end. I climbed up the ladder. One of Carson's friends is standing directly in front of me. And, hi, Cameron. He's up there. This is what Zach E feels like.
That's cool.
And then, but then, I got to. And I think I can say, without fear of contradiction, that is the least competent conducting that anybody has ever done for our band.
Did you actually know what you were doing? Like, when I look at conductors, I keep thinking
I knew what I was doing, but I kind of didn't care. They're not paying attention to me, but my job is to get their horns up, start the drums, And then, then they start playing. And then they're paying no attention to me at all. And they should pay no attention to me at all. So, anyways, I was keeping time. But I was also, singing the fight song when it was time to sing. And just.
Do we have to call you the maestro now? We don't have to call you the maestro,
God,
do we?
no.
Okay,
No,
good.
No,
All right.
I have enough nicknames. Although that's one you could actually use on the air. But no, you don't need to do that. But that was so much fun. And then, the Fresno State game was good. Purdue's just not ready yet. They've got a new coaching staff and a lot of new players and everything is new. And, they've been playing catch up because when Jeff Brom left, he took half the coaching staff with him, some of the recruits, and it's going to take. I think it's still get to a bowl this year. I mean, there's enough talent there that if they, you figure out what they're doing here soon enough that they can still get to a bowl game. But it's that Fresno State team is good. By the way, they won the Mountain West last year, and they could win it again this year.
Well, they I think Walters will do a good job there. But as you said, they're fighting an uphill battle right now.
At the moment,
there's no doubt.
And Purdue was on like their fourth string center, and it's some key, not a lot of injuries, but some key injuries slowing them down. They should be a little healthier at that position this week at Virginia Tech, which is a big game if Purdue wants to make a bowl, and that's a tough place to play, even with a program it's not quite at the standards it's had before.
What would you say was the most impressive performance of Week 1?
Florida State.
Mm-hmm.
That was something else. They looked like a team that could compete certainly for a spot in the college football playoff and maybe even win the thing. That was the way they came out in the second half of that game. That was pretty impressive. That they were the team at the top, the top part of college football that really looked like they belong at the top of, in that discussion. The other teams just weren't tested. I mean, they didn't play good enough opponents to matter. So, we'll see Alabama and Texas this weekend. That's a huge game. But Florida State is the one who really made a big statement.
Well, you and I, if I'm not mistaken, last week, we both had 2 from the SEC and 2 from the Big Ten in the playoff, correct?
Correct.
Okay. Now, in your bowl projections, which is not necessarily what you think personally, right? It's by what's happened so far. You have Florida State now projected in the playoff, correct?
It's actually different than basketball. Basketball, when I do a bracket, it's always as if the tournament started that day.
Right.
Football, I'm actually looking ahead at what I think is going to happen. So I projected all the games, and I can't do bowl projections unless I know who's going to be eligible.
Mm-hmm.
So you can't really do football as if the season ended today. So I've got Florida State now projected into the playoff as the 3rd seed behind Georgia and Michigan, with Alabama still number 4. And Ohio State got bumped from my preseason projection.
Ohio State, it's funny because people will look at Ohio State and say they weren't very impressive in Week 1, but they were. I mean, they were also playing a conference game on the road when a lot of these teams were playing, putting up 73 points against some FCS opponent. Everybody's like, wow, that was impressive. But Ohio State playing a conference game on the road, you weren't very good. I mean, it's a little different situation.
Well, it is, and it's not. I mean, there isn't 5 players on Indiana that would make Ohio State's roster. It's just the way it is. But they have a new quarterback, and Indiana's got their offense is not much. It might even be less than that. But their defense is reasonably competent, and they gave him some trouble at least early on. The stud receiving core never really got in the game. The freshman quarterback had some, or new quarterback. I don't know if he's actually a freshman, but just had some inconsistencies, and they weren't clicking on all cylinders. I don't worry too much about game 1 if you get the result. I don't like to overreact to game 1 anyway, unless you just can't help it. Like Clemson, I think, pretty much showed they're not quite the level that we're used to seeing. Colorado had a huge win at TCU. Time will tell which team that is really said more about. It could be both. But we need more than one game to see what this means about those 2 teams. But
question.
Clemson, I think, isn't a problem.
We overreact after 1 week All the
It's
time.
really hard. You
the time.
you have to resist overreacting. After
Yes,
one
but
week.
in this world of social media, we're sitting there with Twitter as we're watching the games, or X, we're watching the games and we're tweeting things out. But the Buckeyes, by the way, for the record, Ryan Day has said it's still an unresolved situation with his quarterbacks. He's got two guys.
I can
There's still a
imagine.
battle
So
going on.
They scored 23 points, and and Marvin Harrison, I think, had 3 catches, maybe. That's obviously
ridiculous.
not the offense clicking.
Yeah, that's
right?
ridiculous. I don't even know how many targets he got, but if he is not a mainstay in your offense,
isn't covering him because nobody covers him. So you can't put that on the defense, right?
Right. But even if he's double teamed, I'm still throwing it to him. The guy's good.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, because 2 guys can't cover him. So yeah.
But with what you were just talking about as far as Clemson, right? They obviously don't look like anything what they used to be. Again, it's one game, but Florida State took them behind. Not Florida State, but Duke took them behind the woodshed. Now,
what's funny about that game though is, they get inside the 10 and they miss a field goal, and then they fumble twice.
Yeah, they missed 2 field goals. But Jerry, that was the worst red zone execution I've seen from a team, maybe ever.
That's the thing. If they get that part right, it could have been the same score the other direction. Well,
Right.
I mean, Duke at 13.
But their
after they
defense
scored to start the half.
But their defense looked awful, and they produce NFL guys year in and year out. They looked Duke quarterback, who I'd never heard of going into the season, torched them. Now let me ask you about this. North Carolina looked really good. They didn't have Walker. They win by 2 touchdowns over South Carolina, and they have maybe, arguably, the best quarterback. Caleb Williams and May are looked at as the leading candidates for the Heisman.
Yep.
Is North Carolina, and it's early, are they capable of beating Florida State? Like, when it's all said and done, Clemson's going to battle Florida State. North Carolina's in the mix there. It comes down to those 3, I would guess. I don't think Miami, and we'll find out a little bit more about Miami this week. They play Texas A&M. But is North Carolina good enough? Are they good enough in the ACC?
Maybe. Yeah, because of the quality of their quarterback, you always give them a chance. That's the thing that, Clemson's quarterback is okay, but he's not, May. I mean, it's just, Carolina's quarterback gives them a chance to hang in a game with Florida State. Florida State's got so many weapons. Those receivers are great. But if the problem for Carolina's always been the defense. How are they going to keep Florida State from scoring 60? You can only ask your offense to do so much. But the fact that they've got, a quarterback as good as they have is that they definitely have a chance to stay in a game with them.
So what do you take out of the Pac-12 overall going 12-0?
Well, who'd they play? Utah played Florida. That was the best of the games.
Colorado played TCU.
Actually,
on the road.
what to me was the most impressive was Washington just laying out Boise State. Which,
Michael Penix
that's a
Jr.
team
looked
that
great.
a lot of people, myself included, thought could win the Mountain West this year. They laid waste to that team. And, I'd be pretty concerned if I'm a Boise State fan that they got beat that badly.
Yeah, they couldn't guard at all.
Because you've got Fresno State looking pretty good this week. You've got, you wondered if Fresno State could replace some of the guys they lost on offense. They have. You've got the Air Force is a pretty good team and plays a difficult style. So, Boise State fans have got to be pretty concerned. But Washington was the most impressive to me of, all of those teams in the Pac-12. It's nice that they went undefeated, but there weren't a lot of marquee opponents on the roster or on the schedule.
No, there wasn't. Oregon, though, still scored 81. I don't care who it was against, Portland State
The
or
poor Duck.
What's that?
The poor Duck and his 564
Oh, my
push-ups or whatever he
gosh.
had
The
to
dude's
do.
going to have biceps out of this world now. But, 81 they scored. Even UCLA, I don't think is a great team. Coastal Carolina is a good, solid team. They did get them at home, and they won by 2 touchdowns. So it was a look. Let's be honest. It was a great showing for the Pac-12.
You'll take what you can get, right? 12-0 is 12-0.
12-0 is 12-0, and unfortunately, that's it after this year. All right, Texas, Alabama.
Next year, if they go undefeated week 1, they'll be 2-0.
That's right. Maybe not. Maybe in the Mountain West. Texas, Alabama. How do you see that one this week?
I like Alabama. I always like Alabama, especially playing at home. I think it's an interesting matchup that, Alabama's going to have to take away the Texas running game. because they've got some good backs. Obviously, they have a good quarterback too, so they're not just going to be able to run the ball, but it'll be a real good test to see if Alabama's defense is back to the standard that we're used to seeing Alabama's defense. I don't think they were quite there last year. And then Milroe had a good game.
He did.
Albeit a lesser opponent, but that's nice. It'll be a real good test for him. And I thought he acquitted himself reasonably well last year, just being thrown into it, without really time to prepare as a number one quarterback. So, now he's had an off season where he's the guy. He had to earn the job, but he's the guy. And he's a guy that can throw and can also run. So he's one of those dual threat quarterbacks that's got skills in both areas, and obviously surrounded by great talent as always at Alabama. So, the Texas quarterback. Did they play Ewers? It's Ewers,
yeah,
right?
Ewers, right.
Yeah, he's the guy with the big recruiting and the big recruit coming out of high school. Milroe wasn't really that, but he's playing at Alabama, so he's not nothing either. But Milroe has a chance to make a statement about who's actually the better quarterback.
He is Jerry Palm, CBS Sports, CBSSports.com. You can follow him on Twitter at JPPalmCBS. Catch him every Wednesday during both the college football and basketball seasons right here on Sports 56 Mornings. Have a great week. Check out his bowl projections as well at CBSSports.com. We'll talk to you next Wednesday, Jerry.
All right, thanks.
Thank you now.
Fleet Feet, the place to go to get all your running gear. You want to make sure you get shoes that are perfect for you. Go see the folks at Fleet Feet, either in East Memphis in the Laurelwood Shopping Center or out in Collierville at Poplar and Houston Levy next door to Huey's. They'll take a look at the way you run, the way you walk, and they'll fit you with shoes just right for you, plus all the other gear that you need. Well, they've got you taken care of, from shorts and shirts and socks and hats, anything. They've got it for you at Fleet Feet. You can also find them online, fleetfeetmemphis.com. They're all over social media, keeping you up to date with things they've got going on that you can always get involved with as well with the folks at Fleet Feet.
You're tuned in to Sports 56 Mornings with Greg and Eli on Real Sports Talk, Sports 56 and 98.5 FM.
Join the voice of the Tigers, Dave Woloshin, for Wolo and Friends. Weekday mornings from 10 to 11 here on Sports 56 and 98.5 FM.
Hi, this is Lauren Choate with Choate's Air Conditioning, Heating, and Plumbing. Choate's is offering some amazing specials for this month only. If you're considering upgrading your furnace before the cold weather comes, Choate's is offering $1,000 off a new Carrier furnace. If you don't need a new furnace, Choate's is now offering its early bird $60 furnace tune-up. This 22-point tune-up includes a free carbon monoxide test and heat exchanger inspection. And Choate's is your indoor air quality expert. For the best quality air for you and your family, it's recommended to have your air ducts cleaned every 8 years. This month only, Choate's will install a free UV light system when you get your air ducts cleaned, a $500 value. Call us at 347-8086 to take advantage of these amazing deals. So, turn to the experts with Choate's, and remember, let our family serve your family.
Every business seeks an advantage, whether it's having the best location, hiring top talent, or spotting trends before they happen. And now, the United States Postal Service can give your business a new advantage. Introducing USPS Ground Advantage. Reliable and affordable 2 to 5 day package shipping. It's the advantage you need at the price you want. Get the Ground Advantage at USPS.com/advantage. The United States Postal Service, delivering for America.
Every once in a while, a new concept comes on the scene and really upsets the old school apple carts. Well, that's exactly what Genesis Diamonds has done here in Memphis. Hey, it's Eric Hasseltine, and Genesis Diamonds is a fresh, exciting, revolutionary kind of jewelry store that has forever changed the jewelry landscape here in Memphis. Fall is just around the corner. What better time to make that big purchase than right now at Genesis Diamonds? With up to 30 times what you find at other stores in selection, no middleman prices that we've never seen here before, with natural and lab-grown diamonds in all shapes and sizes, Genesis has something for everyone. Plus, free service for life on any purchase and a 120% diamond upgrade guarantee that no other store would dare to offer. Genesis has turned the old school jewelry retail model upside down with lower margins, higher volume, no tricky pricing, no pressure, and no middleman. Get to Genesis Diamonds today and get that diamond purchase taken care of. This is the value leader, and nobody can challenge them here. Check out Genesis Diamonds at Poplar and Perkins Extended. Genesis Diamonds, the official jeweler of the Tennessee Titans.
Jim Gaffigan here with some more Straight Talk. Let's take a moment to appreciate our sweet children, loving grandparents, and eternal soulmates. Now let's use them to save money on wireless. Because with the Straight Talk Silver Plan, you get 4 lines for just $25 a month with unlimited data and no contracts. So add those human pawns, loved ones, and save money. Thanks, kids. They're finally worth it. Straight Talk Wireless, available at Walmart.
Get 4 lines on Silver Unlimited for $25 per line per month, plus taxes and fees. For data management practices and additional terms, visit straighttalk.com.
Is your roof leaking? Do you have water damage on your ceiling of your home or business? Do you need assistance gathering much-needed data and images from your storm-damaged roof for an insurance claim? Call Metro Builders, roof and restoration specialists, and schedule your free inspection. At Metro Builders, our team of Hague-certified technicians and fully trained estimators are ready to come out and evaluate any concerns you may have. Metro Builders Roof and Restoration. We accept all insurance carrier scopes. Call Metro Builders now. Each and every day, we provide clients many different types of data and estimates for their insurance carrier. These include estimate and photo reports of all damage, from the roof to water damage on rafters and ceilings and even studs and plates inside walls. Check out the local BBB for our 27-year history in construction in Memphis, or check us out online today at metrobuildersmemphis.com. That's metrobuildersmemphis.com for your local residential and commercial roofing and restoration experts. Call me. 901-375-1717. That's 901-375-1717.
Now back to Sports 56 Mornings on Sports 56 and 98.5 FM. This hour is brought to you by James Gaddis Jewelers.
Don't you just love it?
Here once again, Greg Gaston and Eli Savoy.
Coming up in hour number 3, we'll talk Grizzlies with DeMichael Cole at 9:05, then 5 favorite things at around 9:30, your 5 favorite college football / NFL helmets of all time. Get your lists in. You can hit us up on the Sports 56 listener lines by texting in your lists at 901-360-8255, or send it via Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, or send it to our website, sportsmemphis.com. Are you still sticking with Texas over Alabama? Has anything changed your mind?
I don't think anything happened since yesterday that would possibly change my mind.
Okay. Do you believe that if Texas loses that game, still wins the Big 12, they get into the playoff?
They can.
Okay. I went back and forth with a bunch of people on Twitter about the LSU situation. And I said, look, I know that 1 week does not determine a season, but in a 4-team playoff college football season, 1 loss puts you behind the 8 ball, squarely behind the 8 ball. And yes, LSU, who I still like a lot, I was very disappointed with that whole second half. It's almost like they took a siesta at halftime, and Florida State and Mike Norvell came out and punched them in the mouth in the third quarter. But if they went to Tuscaloosa and won the West, got to the SEC championship game, lost a close one to Georgia, 2 losses, still have a chance. Obviously beat Georgia, would be in. So it's still there, but there's no room for error. There's no margin for error now having the 1 loss, whereas Florida State, coming out of the ACC a little bit tougher, not as respectful, I think, in some people's eyes as teams coming out of the SEC or the Big Ten, but if Florida State beats Clemson, beats North Carolina, there's no more divisions. It's just all the teams in the ACC, so you can conceivably play Clemson twice. Then Florida State's going to get in. Now, could they get in with just 1 loss? Let's say they lose to Clemson regular season, beat Clemson in the championship game if it came out that way. Could they get in? Yes, absolutely they could. 1 loss, certainly still a great opportunity to get in even with a 14 playoff. 2 losses, it's tight. It's possible for a few schools out there, for a few of the programs, depending on where your wins are coming from. But you are probably in trouble because you got to look at the situation here. The Big Ten champion, the SEC champion, they're getting in. And if you have Florida State or Clemson, of course, Clemson now behind the 8 ball. But if you have Florida State or North Carolina, could be a factor in this thing. Win the ACC with 1 loss or go undefeated, they're in. Now, the Pac-12 is interesting because It is a fun conference that will no longer be after this year. There are fun quarterbacks in this league, up and down the conference. I wouldn't be surprised if Washington won it, Utah won it, USC won it, Oregon won it. There's really not any horrible teams. Cal exploded in week 1. It'll be interesting to see their game with Auburn, right? With Hugh Freeze in his first year, he got some players in. I don't expect too much from Hugh in his first year, but you never know. But Cal, we'll see. I thought Cal was going to be miserable, and maybe they still will be. You know, Stanford's average, and Arizona State with Dillingham in his first year. Not Arizona State, Arizona, right? Is that Dillingham or Arizona State?
He's Arizona State.
Arizona State. They're going to struggle. But everybody else, pretty much in that conference. Oregon State's really, really good. Washington State, not so sure of. But Oregon State, Washington, USC, Utah, Oregon, even UCLA. It's going to be a fun race. Colorado in its last year in the Big 12. Don't forget about Colorado and what they did. How strong could they be? Could you imagine if Colorado is in the mix in the end? I mean, already carve out the trophy that Deion Sanders is the National Coach of the Year. If that happens, one win over TCU is great, but if he can do that consistently and beat those top teams in the Pac-12, give him the trophy right now, because that's how surprising it would be, because nobody expected that. But now you look at Colorado and you go, yeah, it's possible. So that guy has those players believing, and that's the most important thing, right? You have talent, brought in the guys he wanted to bring in, overhauled that roster. I have no problems with that. Not in this day and age. Whatever you want to do, you find the talent, you find what's not going to work for you, and find out what's going to work for you. And you motivate those guys to believe in themselves. That dude is a grade A motivator. So the Pac-12 is fun. It's fun.
It's got a great group of quarterbacks.
I think it's going to be a fun race. The SEC is always interesting. The Big Ten, not as much, because you know who's going to be dominating. It's going to be Ohio State and Michigan. Penn State will try to get into that party, and then everybody else is behind, including the world of Wisconsin, which has had great runs over the years. Everybody else, Michigan State, come on. My Terps, no chance. They're going to win a bunch of games, but they're not going to be able to beat those teams. Well, get ready for the NFL season with incredible offers from FanDuel, America's #1 sportsbook. Right now, new customers can bet $5, get $200 in bonus bets. That's guaranteed. Plus, all customers who bet $5 will get $100 off NFL Sunday Ticket from YouTube and YouTube TV. Now is the best time to join FanDuel. The app is easy to use. You can bet on everything from spreads to player props, much, much more. I love betting the touchdown scores and even the first touchdown score. So visit FanDuel.com/Gasman. That's the promo code, and kick off the NFL season with an offer you won't want to miss. FanDuel is the official partner of the NFL. 21 or over, present in Tennessee. First online real money wager only. $10 first deposit required. Bonus issued as non-withdrawable bonus bets that expire 7 days after receipt. Restrictions apply. See terms at FanDuel.com/sportsbook. Gambling problem? Call Tennessee Red Line at 1-800-889-9789. NFL Sunday Ticket offer ends on September 18th. No refunds. Terms and embargoes apply. $100 off NFL Sunday Ticket, not YouTube TV. YouTube TV the base plan is required to watch YouTube TV. Redemption requires a Google account and current form of payment. Commercial use excluded. Subscription renews. Cancel at any time you like. By the way, here's my play for tomorrow night. Riley Patterson, the former Memphis Tiger, was with the Lions, then went with the Jags. Seemed like he made every field goal attempt for the Jags, then went back to the Lions. Over the field, it's probably going to be 2.5 for field goals. Go over with Riley Patterson. I think the Lions will move the ball, will score some points, maybe have a little bit of a problem in the red zone, and Patterson will be kicking field goals. You're tuned in to Sports 56 Mornings with Greg and Eli on Real Sports Talk, Sports 56 and 98.5 FM.
One of the most infamous and controversial bands in the world. Wasp, the 40th Never Stops World Tour with special guest, Armored Saint. Wasp live. This Thursday night, Graceland Live. Tickets are on sale now at waspnation.com. Wasp, feel the sting.
Hi, this is Troy Fiveash, owner of Fiveash Roof Services. If you need a new roof for your home or business, we hope to hear from you and will work hard to earn your business. We are experts and certified in residential and commercial roofing, siding, and gutter installation. I have been serving the Memphis area for over 20 years, and now with two of my sons working with me, we plan to be here for years to come. So if you need a roof, please give us a call. On a personal note, what a great time it is to be a Memphis sports fan. With the Grizzlies and the Redbirds and 901 FC, not to mention Tigers football and basketball, it's going to be a fun year. Thanks to Coach Silverfield and Coach Hardaway and their staffs for their dedication to the student and athletes, the University of Memphis, the City of Memphis, and us fans. Five Ash Roof Services, a proud partner of the Memphis Tigers and the official roofer of the Tigers home team. Five Ash Roofing, fair, honest, and ethical. 367-0050 or memphisroofer.com. 367-0050 or memphisroofer.com.
Five Ash Roofing, it's what we do. We're here for you.
WeatherGuard, the name that stands for unmatched security in truck boxes, is now making a name for itself on the NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series circuit. WeatherGuard is the official sponsor of the safety and security work crews at Speedway Motorsports tracks across the country. Engineered to meet the demands from job sites to race sites, WeatherGuard truck boxes feature double welded seams, weather-tight seals, and high security latches and locks. If it's a job worth doing, it's a job worth WeatherGuard. Learn more at weatherguard.com/truck.
Bell Tavern is waiting for you this Saturday. Well, Bell Tavern is waiting for you all the time, but this Saturday and the next bunch of Saturdays are different because these Saturdays we have college football. We say it all the time. Bell Tavern, Memphis's downtown neighborhood bar, is not a sports bar. It's a great bar that happens to have sports on the TVs. Lots of high-def TVs. You don't want to go watch your favorite college team in some chain restaurant. You want to go to Bell Tavern where you can enjoy the game, make some friends, and have some of the best cocktails in Memphis. That's what you want.
They're taking care of business in Memphis right on the river with Grind City Brewing and all of their great products. Look, this was a dream come true for a father and son duo. And if you have not been to that brewery right on the river, just to the north of downtown, you're really missing something special. And now you can't miss their products. Wherever you go, you see a brand new label. It's clean, it's beautiful, it's distinctive. You'll know Grind City Brewing, and of course you know their products like Poppy's Pills, that great Pilsner, or Tiger Tail, that very creative craft malt liquor. There's the new Thaddeus Amber Lager. That is absolutely a great light beer. There's the India Pale called Godhopper. It's outstanding. And then there's the Belga, the Belgian-style wheat ale. They keep bringing hits at Grind City Brewing.
We are Sports 56, WHBQ Memphis, and W253DF Memphis, Flynn Broadcasting Stations.
Sports 56 traffic.
Working an accident downtown on A.W. Willis at Danny Thomas. That's A.W. Willis at Danny Thomas. Also, still working an accident on Chulahoma at Holmes Road. New accident on Mount Moriah at Mendenhall. 385 East at Riverdale. The left shoulder is still blocked there. Walnut Grove at it's Walnut Grove at Great View Drive this time, where they're still working that accident there. And then Highway 64 East at Rock Creek Parkway. This is your Sports 56 traffic update.
Now back to Sports 56 Mornings on Sports 56 and 98.5 FM. This hour is brought to you by Acura of Memphis.
Power is everything.
Here once again, Greg Gaston and Eli Savoy.
Hour number 3 here on Sports 56 Mornings. Greg Gaston, Eli Savoy, Zach Boyd with you. We've had a mixed bag of weather since we arrived here at the Family Leisure Studios. Raining, storming this morning, overnight, a lot of rain, thunderstorms, and now the sun is shining, and we got a heat advisory for today from noon until 7 o'clock. Currently it's 76, but it's going to get hot. 93 and a high heat index with the humidity. Tonight, clear skies with a low of 70, and there is a 50% chance of some rain later today, possibly even some thunderstorms. It's the Wednesday, September 6th, 2023 edition, broadcasting live from the Family Leisure Studios. It's Wednesday. It's time to talk some Memphis Grizzlies with DeMichael Cole.
2 watches, that's 12. Come through and slam on you. I'm in the L.
It's time to talk some Grizzlies basketball. Joining Greg and Eli is DeMichael Cole, Grizzlies beat writer for the Commercial Appeal. Here's DeMichael with Greg and Eli.
Make sure to follow DeMichael on Twitter at DeMichaelC. Of course, read all his great stories about the Grizzlies at the Commercial Appeal. DeMichael, how are you today?
What's going on, Greg? How we doing?
Doing fantastic. Camp just a few weeks away, and the FIBA World Cup continues. As you know, the United States moving into the semis. They will take on Germany. Germany a winner this morning over Latvia. And in the other semi, Serbia has advanced, and they'll play the winner of Canada and Slovenia. And, that, of course, Dylan Brooks, the former Grizzly, on that Canadian team. But the United States looked really good in demolishing Italy in the quarters. But Jaren Jackson Jr. has had all types of problems staying on the court because of foul issues. Do you believe, DeMichael, that they are calling it tighter in international play? Of course, you only get the 5 fouls as opposed to 6 in the NBA. Is it being called tighter? Is he doing things out of character? Last year he did a good job staying on the floor and thusly goes on to win the Defensive Player of the Year in the NBA, but right now he has not been a factor for Team USA, especially of late.
Well, in general, you think of the FIBA game, it's more aggressive. You know, they give you more leeway there. You know, like you think about there's no 3 seconds in the paint, so there's more contact, you know, in that area. You know, it's less free wide open layups on drives and things like that. A little bit more physicality, too, when guys are guarding each other. So I think this is just more of Jaren. Just even last season, as you mentioned, he was better in terms of how the fouls happened, but he still was top 5 in the NBA, top 3 in the NBA in fouls committed per game. And if you look over the course of Jaren's career, in his 5 seasons, in the 4 seasons where he's qualified, you know, he had the 1 season where he kind of came back towards the end of the season. But in the 4 years he's qualified, he finished top 3 in committed fouls. So it's still, granted, he improved last season in the way the fouls were happening. Like, I think he would commit 2 fouls instead of 3 in the first half, or he would commit 3 fouls instead of 4 through 3 quarters, just a little bit more often than in previous seasons. But at the same time, you need him to kind of distinguish a little bit better. And I think I heard Steve Kerr say this as well, between, you know, going after those blocks or when he could just put his arms up and it'll, you know, it'll be enough. Like, it'll still cause a miss. So he's 6'11", he has long arms, but he kind of hunts those blocks. And even on the offensive end, there's been some times where he's committed charges and things like that. So I think it's more of Jaren than the FIBA game. I think the FIBA game is generally thought to be even more aggressive than the NBA.
It does, yeah. I mean, especially the way you're talking about with going for the block rather than just kind of standing there straight up, because it does look like, it seems like he's trying, and I think part of it is the fact that you could kind of hang out in the paint a little bit more. It feels like he's trying to block like every shot that's anywhere near him.
Yeah, I agree, and I think, you know, there's been a lot of talk about his rebounding numbers, and that probably plays a part in that. You know, hunting those blocks and going after, you know, those blocks to the point where you're taking yourself out of rebounding position, and the opponent is getting more offensive rebounds, so they're just straight up getting more rebounds. So I think that's a big part of it as well. I figured, you know, this platform, this FIBA platform, where he can kind of just plant his feet in the paint, would be tailor-made for him. But then you got to factor in that other side. He has fouled a lot. He's had like 3 games where he's been in early foul trouble, and I think that's something that he's going to have to prove on, especially with these next 2 opponents coming in.
In the
or
early
these next potential.
right. In the early games of the tournament, when he was on the floor a lot more and was producing, I said on the show, and I don't think people would have disagreed at that time, that Jaren Jackson Jr. I thought was a shoo-in for the Olympic team for next year, because I don't know what other bigs you would go with from around the NBA. He makes a lot of sense. Now I'm not so sure, because if you can't depend on him to be on the floor because of foul trouble, I'm not so sure that it's a slam dunk that he's on the team next year. So with that said, what other options do you think they would have, the United States? Because you're going to have a couple of bigs just in case you have to run into a team that goes with mainly big dudes, kind of like a Lithuania or one of those countries. But for the most part, it's more positionless and things of that nature. But if they're going to add a couple of bigs, which they will, 2, maybe even 3, do you think that he could be left off? And who are other candidates in your mind from the United States?
I still see him making it, but I have a different look in terms of, I think there's the possibility if he's on the team next year, they may just play him at his more natural position at power forward, and bring on 3 other bigs instead of bringing him on. Other names, as you mentioned, number 1 name that comes out to me is Bam Adebayo. You know, he played, on the last team. I think he played in the World Cup, and he was good enough there. I think he's your top target in terms of centers. But then there's some other guys. I think Jared Allen will make a lot of sense. Because when Team USA, you're looking for guys who can rim run, block shot. Wendell Carter Jr. is another one that comes to mind. But then there's those guys that's a little bit down the list in terms of names, but they fit the Olympic team. A guy like Mitchell Robinson, he's going to rebound the heck out of the ball, and he's going to block shots. That's all you need for Team USA. Like, they're going to have plenty of scoring at point guard, shoot guard, small forward, and possibly even power forward. Mitchell Robinson could start for Team USA and play a big role with his screen setting, with his rebounding, with his ability to block shots. Those are names that pop out to me. Of course, if Anthony Davis were willing to play, we saw him play for Team USA very, very early in his career, 2012. But since then, he hasn't been really a part of Team USA's plans. So if Anthony Davis were to return, it's going to be in Paris next year. I think that's going to be a big appeal to a lot of players. So we'll see who eventually, wants to play. But I think Anthony Davis is where you start, Bam Adebayo, those guys. And if you want to work your way to that next level, Jared Allen, Mitchell Robinson, really makes some sense to me.
What about the possibility, and I think I read this yesterday, that Joel Embiid is either now a naturalized citizen?
He's got citizenship here and in France, and Brian Windhorst had the report that both are trying to recruit him to play for them. Now, he doesn't even know if he wants to play, but if he does play, then you've got a recruiting battle between the U.S. and France.
Yeah, I've seen that. And he'd be great because he's a top 2 center in the NBA right now, and he has been for the last 5 years. But I'm telling you, I foresee some of the problems that Jared is having with Joel Embiid as well if he plays for Team USA. If he goes to France, the ball will be in his hand a lot more. With Team USA, it's not going to be often where you just put the ball in the center's hand and the low post and everyone else just plays off of it. The American game is guard dominated now, so it's hard for me to see Joel Embiid being satisfied with a rim running role, set screen, catch line.
I agree.
Pick and pop. The role that Jaren is kind of having to play right now, when those guys want to get on the block and say, get out of my way, let me go take this guy one-on-one, and if the double comes, I'll kick it to one of you. I think Team USA can be a very effective playing through him. But Team USA, historically speaking at least, they create turnovers, they get out and run, and it's just not the most conducive to Joel Embiid's talent. Like, I think when we've seen in the past. Remember, they had JaVale McGee. They had Dwight Howard. They've had those type of guys, and it's like DeAndre Jordan. And those guys look really good on these teams because they don't have to do too much.
Mm-hmm.
Even Dwight Howard in 2008, he was probably the best center in the world. He didn't have to do much. He just had to catch lobs, block shots, dunk on people. You don't got to do turnaround jumpers like you got to do in the NBA and face up for 5, 6, 7 seconds. So I could see Embiid, being on the team, but that would be more name than game to me in terms of a fit.
Stop me if you've heard this before, but Dylan Brooks has been ejected from a basketball game.
Has he really? Did it just happen?
He and Luka have both been ejected. His was for taunting. Luka picked up 2 technicals. I don't know if they were involved in the same thing that happened. I just saw somebody tweet that both of those guys have just been ejected from the game.
Yeah, and when Brooks went out, Slovenia is kind of went on a little run. I think they're kind of working their way back. It's a single-digit game now. So looks like Canada's still going to pull it off. They're up 9, those 3 minutes left. But, yeah, Dylan Brooks and Luka. I mean, it was great theater for about 20, 25, 30 minutes. Those two just going at it. But yeah, both of them being ejected, probably the least surprising thing you expected in this game.
That's crazy. By the way,
Dylan had a good day today, by the way.
He had a good game
Great
the last game.
3 for 5 from 3, 5 for 7 overall,
Great
14 points.
And he's knocking them down. He's choosing. Like,
of course he is.
I don't want to be controversial, guys, but you can't tell me it doesn't go through your mind. It's like he's doing this for Canada, and it's like he's playing the right way. He's just playing within the flow of the offense. And it makes me think, like, what was he told with the Grizzlies? Like, was he not told to play? Like, granted, he said that in his last season, they wanted him to be more of a 3-and-D guy.
Mm-hmm.
But this role that he's playing now is kind of, I think, what people wanted to see more of with the Grizzlies.
So do you think it could be more on the Grizzlies' use of him rather than on him himself?
I think that can be part of it. Like, I remember, not even going back beyond last season. Remember the Golden State Warriors series a couple years ago?
Sure.
And I forget the 2 players who were at the podium that we were talking to. I know Kyle Anderson was one of them. And I asked him, I'm like, what do you tell Dylan Brooks? This is after game 5 or 6. I believe it's after the game 6 loss, and he took like 25 shots. I'm like, what do you tell Dylan Brooks after a tough shooting night like this? And they say, well, you tell him just keep shooting.
Keep shooting, right.
And a lot of people were like, what? Now, granted, you don't.
That's what the Warriors would have kept telling him too.
Confidence is everything in basketball. Yeah. But they say, oh, keep shooting, and it makes me think, like, was it the Grizzlies just saying, oh, yeah, you shot 3 of 20 today, but come on, just keep shooting.
Do you think they'll regret?
Eventually fall.
Do you think they're going to end up regretting getting rid of him?
No.
And of course, he made the decision. And I understand he was a free agent and he signed with Houston, but you know what I'm saying.
Yeah. I think, like you said, if you look at it from that perspective, he's a free agent, he signed with Houston, the money that you have committed to all the young guys, no, not at all. But from a basketball standpoint, depending on how, basically looking back on it, if they wanted to keep Dylan Brooks and add Marcus Smart, they could have done that. But at the end of the day, I don't think it'll be something that they regret. But there will be certain games, certain matchups. Let's say the Pelicans, for example. That's who you start the season again. If Zion goes off to 30 against the Grizzlies, first thing that's going to pop in my head, at least, and probably other people's head, is, man, the Grizzlies used Dylan Brooks to guard Zion 2 times last season. It was 2 of his 5 worst games of the season.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So, those things will pop up in certain matchups. You think about Steph Curry. Dylan Brooks has been really effective, against Curry and things like that. And Curry has been really good against Marcus Smart. So if a series comes down to that, like, it's certain matchups where I can see, man, they really could have used him for this. But over the course of a season, over an 82-game season, I don't think so.
I can tell you this from my standpoint. I'm not one of those hindsight guys. He needed to go. Okay, it was not good. It was not a healthy environment. It was not. So they made the right move. So I'm not going to look back when he has those huge games or when the Grizzlies struggle against a an opponent that maybe he would do well in locking down. I'm not going to sit there and go, oh, they should have never gotten rid of him or let him walk and become a free agent signing of the Rockets. I'm not, but I know fans will, right? That's a lot different than where I come from. And I've made my stance already. I've made it clear publicly that they had to make that move, and they did. All right, before we let you go, Grizzlies made a couple of little moves here in the last week or so. No surprise that G.G. Jackson, their second-round pick, gets a two-way deal. And then they signed Shaq Harrison, former Tulsa Golden Hurricane, 29 years old, once had a 10-day with the Grizzlies a few years ago. Is this going to be the guy to play those 20 games that they're going to allow the Grizzlies to have that extra guy while Ja Morant is out for 20 of the 25? Or is this just a signing for camp to kind of push guys? What do you think it is with the signing of Shaq Harrison?
It could be that guy. As you say, if he was just a signing in camp to push guys, what makes me believe that's not the case is because Shaq Harrison is a 29-year-old, vet.
Right.
This signing kind of alludes, hey, we want a guy who's going to be ready. They're not going out and getting a young 21, 22-year-old, big-time athlete or anything like that. This is a guy who's 29, who's played, 5, 6 NBA teams. Mm-hmm. Has played in different roles. Has started some games, come off the bench, has done all these different type of roles, and he's a guy who, in stretches, can provide a spark. He can get that big time steal. He can come in the game when an opposing guard is hot. If you bring him in for 5-10 minutes to cool the guy off, he can be that type of guy for you. And it makes sense that he would be that guy, as you mentioned, for the Grizzlies to use. Potentially in that when Ja Morant goes on the exempt list after 5 games.
And then lastly, I'm sure you did, catch the video yesterday with Ja working out and all the little inscriptions about his dedication and things of that nature?
Yeah, I saw it.
What'd you think?
And it's cool.
Is it
cool.
PR, basically?
For sure. I mean, for sure. But to me, it's his way of kind of promoting and rebuilding his image. So it's definitely PR. Like, I think back to remember when he T. Moran and I think other members of the family wore like the redemption hoodies and things like it's definitely some PR in it. Like, I'm personally, and everyone's entitled to their own opinion. I'm just in see it to believe it mode with Ja.
I'm with you
at this point. Everything else is just okay. We'll see. When he comes back from the suspension and he has to go through the full season without showing any signs of those same mistakes.
Yep, well said. I agree with you 100%. Right now it's window dressing. He's DeMichael Cole, Grizzlies beat writer for the Commercial Appeal. You can follow him on Twitter at DeMichaelC and catch him every Wednesday talking Grizzlies right here on Sports 56 Mornings. DeMichael, as always, thank you so much.
I appreciate you guys.
Canada did get the win, by the way, 100-89, the final in that one, so they move on to the semifinals as well. This hour program is brought to you by Acura of Memphis, located on Ridgeway at 385 and online at AcuraMemphis.com. Go by, see them, take a test drive in one of those beautiful Acura automobiles. Whether you're looking for a new vehicle, maybe you're looking for a pre-owned vehicle, they've got plenty of pre-owned vehicles, including their certified pre-owned Acuras for you to choose from as well. And they got great people for you to deal with. It's always going to be a great experience for you when you go over there and deal with the folks at Acura Memphis. You can also get a lot of information online at AcuraofMemphis.com, including all the information you need about all the different models, trade-in value on your current vehicle, special deals they've got going on. You can find that all at AcuraofMemphis.com. Go by, take a test drive, and talk to the folks at Acura of Memphis.
All right, when we come back, 5 favorite things, your 5 favorite college football / NFL helmets of all time. Get your lists in at 901-360-8255. You can text them in at that number, or you can send them in via Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, sportsmemphis.com. You can get as specific as you want or as general as you want. If you just say, I love the Patriots helmet, that's fine. Or you want to get specific, a certain year or certain style of the helmet. We know that helmets have evolved over the years. That's fine as well. Go ahead, get those lists together, get those in. We'll talk about it when we return.
By the way, this according to John Hollinger, which I know he's going to be right here, With Canada's win, that means Germany and Serbia have qualified for the Olympics. So congratulations to Germany and Serbia. They're now in, thanks to Canada.
Good job, Canada, even though Eli hates you. So Serbia versus Canada, United States versus Germany in the FIBA World Cup semifinals.
So Serbia, now in the Olympics because of Canada, should lose to Canada on purpose. Thank them for getting them in the Olympics.
Pay them back. This one's setting up for the United States and Canada, correct? As everybody thought it would be?
They're probably the two best, yep.
Serbia, who's on? Isn't that where Jokic is from? Is this Serbia? I know he's not playing, but am I wrong?
Yeah, he's from Serbia.
He's from Serbia, right? So I don't know if he's going to play next year in the Olympic Games, but yeah, Serbia, I would imagine, got some big boys as well on this one. Aside from Jokic, I'm sure he's not the only big boy from that country. I have a feeling that they got some big bruisers in there. Of course, Canada's got a ton of NBA players. And remember, there's some really big names from Canada that aren't playing for the team in the FIBA World Cup that will play for the Olympic team, just like the United States.
Oh, boy. Serbia got some names that you might Serbia got some names that you guys might recognize.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So Nikola Jovic,
right?
Jovic,
for Miami, yeah, who hardly played, but
right,
he's really good.
Bogdanovic, who currently plays for the Hawks.
Okay, not the other Bogdanovic.
Yeah, no, not him, not him, not the one from Detroit, the one for the Hawks.
Okay, gotcha.
And then Eli's boy, I forgot he plays for Serbia.
Who?
Marko Guduric.
Guduric.
There you go.
Marko Guduric. What do they got up for? Like, what's the biggest guys on their team? Size-wise.
Like the height?
Like weight. Like, I'm figuring they got to have some big boys like Jokic would be. Although Jokic lost a lot of weight. They got any 7-footers? Like 7 foot 260s?
They've got a
yeah, they have a couple of 7-footers here.
Okay. I'm just thinking about the United States if you play them. If Serbia beats Canada, United States wins. And it's not a given they're beating Germany, who Jackson has to go up against and see if he can avoid getting into foul trouble once again.
They got two Nicholas. Neither one of them is the good one.
All right, 5 favorite things is next. This is Sports 56 Mornings with Greg and Eli on Real Sports Talk, Sports 56 and 98.5 FM.
Broadcasting from the Family Leisure Studio, we are Sports 56 and 98.5 FM.
You or someone you know or care about has dealt with a difficult divorce. When facing divorce, you need the attorneys at Rice Law. Nick and Larry Rice lead the firm with 3 generations and 7 decades of experience. Located in Memphis, serving the entire state of Tennessee and North Mississippi. Rice Law is who you need to call. Simple or difficult divorce, they know how to handle it. Call Rice Law at 901-526-6701, or for more information, visit them at aboutdivorce.com. That's aboutdivorce.com.
Did you know nearly 40% of men under 40 and over 75% of men over the age of 40 experience sexual performance concerns? At the Memphis Men's Clinic, their experienced physician performs a comprehensive evaluation that determines which specific issues may interfere with your sexual performance. These issues can vary and range from anxiety to medical issues, low testosterone, or erectile dysfunction. The Memphis Men's Clinic has evaluated hundreds of men of all ages over the years and reestablished a normal sexual life. The Memphis Men's Clinic will work aggressively to resolve issues and allow you to restore your sexual health and overall well-being. That's the Memphis way. If you're 20 years old or 90 years old, come and get cared for the Memphis way. Treatment that's based on your specific needs after a professional clinical evaluation by their experienced board-certified physician. Call the Memphis Men's Clinic today at 901-443-0475 or visit memphismensclinic.com.
NFL opening night is coming, and DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of the NFL, is hooking new customers up with a can't-miss offer. Place your first $5 NFL bet and score $200 in bonus bets instantly. Plus, all customers can take advantage of 2 new offers every single game day this September. New customers, download the DraftKings Sportsbook app, use the code ROME, R-O-M-E, to get $200 in bonus bets instantly when you bet just $5. That's code ROME, only only on DraftKings Sportsbook. You do have to be present in a state where it's lawful to wager. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER or visit www.1800gambler.net. In New York, call 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY 467-369. In Connecticut, help is available for problem gambling. Call 888-789-7777 or visit ccpg.org. Please play responsibly. On behalf of Boot Hill Casino and Resort, 21 plus, age varies by jurisdiction, void in Ontario. See dkng.co/football for eligibility. Terms and responsible gaming resources. Bonus bets expire 7 days after issuance. Eligibility and deposit restrictions to apply.
Hi, this is Lauren Choate with Choate's Air Conditioning, Heating, and Plumbing. Choate's is offering some amazing specials for this month only. If you're considering upgrading your furnace before the cold weather comes, Choate's is offering $1,000 off a new Carrier furnace. If you don't need a new furnace, Choate's is now offering its early bird $60 furnace tune-up. This 22-point tune-up includes a free carbon monoxide test and heat exchanger inspection. And Choate's is your indoor air quality expert. For the best quality air for you and your family, it's recommended to have your air ducts cleaned every 8 years. This month only, Choate's will install a free UV light system when you get your air ducts cleaned, a $500 value. Call us at 347-8086 to take advantage of these amazing deals. So, turn to the experts with Choate's, and remember, let our family serve your family.
Now back to Sports 56 Mornings on Sports 56 and 98.5 FM. This hour is brought to you by Acura of Memphis.
Witness the power.
Here once again, Greg Gaston and Eli Savoy.
Welcome back. Final half hour for us today here on Sports 56 Mornings. Going to go over some of the college football odds for week 2. We'll do that a little bit later on in the hour. Tomorrow, Ryan Silverfield, Tigers head football coach, joins us at 8:05. We'll have the Tigers football report at 8:25 as we break down the Tigers and Arkansas State. Kerry Miller will join us at 7:45, talk some Major League Baseball. And then we'll have the AutoZone Liberty Bowl Inside College Football Hour with Harold Grader from 9 to 10. But right now, it's time for 5 favorite things.
I'm Bob. I like a number that's easy to count to. That's why I really appreciate the number 5. You just go 1, 2, 3, 4, and there you are at 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I got 5 on it. 5. Now you may notice that if you multiply 5 by an even number, your product will end in 0. And if you multiply 5 by an odd number, your product will end in 5.
5 favorite things.
All right, today's topic is things that we've talked about in the past. We've talked about NFL helmets. We've talked about college football helmets, our favorites, but we put it all together for the topic being your 5 favorite college football / NFL helmets of all time. And again, you can be as specific as you want or as general as you want. If you haven't gotten your list together, please do so. Get it in so we can read it on the air. 901-360-8255. That's 901-360-8255. That's our Sports 56 listener line. Text in your list to that number or send it in via Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, or send it to our website, sportsmemphis.com, your 5 favorite NFL / college football helmets. All right, Zach, you want to lead us off today? We'll go Zach, we'll go Eli, then myself, and then we'll get to our lists from our listeners.
So no honorable mention with my list.
Okay.
So we're going to go straight into it. Number 5. I went with the Philadelphia Eagles.
Okay.
Number 4, the Memphis Tigers.
And there's a lot of variety with the Tigers.
Oh, yeah. A lot of them. Number 3, I went with the Seattle Seahawks.
Okay.
Number 2, the UCF Knights.
Okay.
And then number 1, I think this team should be on everybody's list, to be honest, the Oregon Ducks.
The Oregon Ducks. So you love all the variety.
Yes.
Okay.
They did not come anywhere near my list.
It's a shame.
None of yours are on my list, as a matter of fact.
No, but
What's new?
What's interesting is I do have.
We came closer last week with Nelly than we did this week with any of your helmets to something beyond my list.
I have an American Conference team that's not the Memphis Tigers, nor it's not. Well, UCF is no longer in the American. But I do have another American Conference team on my list. All right, what do you got for your?
I do not have an honorable mention either. Number 5, I have the LA Chargers. Number 4, the University of Texas. Number 3, University of North Carolina. Number 2, the Dallas Cowboys. And number 1, by far the best helmet ever, and that is the University of Alabama.
Okay. Well, here we go, ladies and gentlemen, because I'm about to be ripped, I'm sure, from Eli for a couple of these picks. But I do have an honorable mention, unlike you guys, and it is Alabama. The simple, traditional number on the side, Alabama, makes it as an honorable mention for me. Why are you shaking your head? That it's only an honorable mention?
Yes. It's the best helmet there is.
That wasn't even the controversial part that I thought you would be criticizing me for.
Not even close.
By the way, I do love the Memphis Tigers helmets, the candy stripe one. There's a lot of variety. The 901 one, but it did not make my list either. But Alabama's my honorable mention. Number 5, the Patriots, the old Patriots helmet. It was a Patriot Pat who's down there as a center, about to hike the ball. That is still one. I couldn't care less about the Patriots. But that one, number 5 on my list. I love that Patriots helmet. I do not like the modern Patriots helmets. Number 4, from the American Conference. Now, a big part of this is my favorite color is green. I just love the colors, the scheme, the logo. Tulane, the green wave, number 4 on my list. Number 3, I agree with you, the Chargers, number 3. All right, Here's where you will roll your eyes, but these are my 2 favorites.
I've already rolled my eyes multiple times, so this isn't where it starts.
Maryland, number 2.
Oh, Jesus.
The state flag helmet with the 4 colors, which are red, white, yellow, and black, is fantastic. Now, some of those schemes have been weird, just like Oregon, right? Some are good, some are bad. You like them all. But number 2, Maryland, that state flag helmet is fantastic. And number 1, there's no tradition. You think it's the Cowboys and that stupid logo. You think they're the real America's team. No. Everybody knows America's team is the Colts. And that baby, that horseshoe is the best logo in the history of sports, other than maybe the Philadelphia Flyers logo. It is the Colts, the number 1 helmet out there. Nothing like it. Tradition, baby. Johnny U, number 19. Buzz cut hair, the flat top haircut. Black leather high tops for shoes. Number 19, going back to pass with that U on the side of his helmet.
The thing is, the Colts isn't even a terrible helmet. It's not a great helmet. It's not a terrible helmet. But once you've put Maryland in there at number 2, everybody knows your taste in helmets is terrible, so it doesn't matter anything else that you say.
Ladies and gentlemen, I implore you, come on. I knew he would say this.
If it was 5 least favorite helmets, Maryland would have been right there solidly in my list, probably at the top.
Oh, come on now.
Maryland's helmets are terrible.
No, not that one. Not that one. That is a great, great helmet. The state flag helmet.
I can't believe you didn't have the Cowboys, by the way, Zach.
Yeah, it's just a star.
Oh, man, that's...
See, he knows. It's just a star.
I mean, it's iconic. Don't get me wrong, but it's not like I like color. Like I like different colors when it comes to helmets.
Yeah, you want 46 different options of helmets. That's clearly what you went for. Any team that has 40, Alabama with 1 helmet, you're not ever going to take them. The Cowboys, 1. You want some team that wears a different helmet every single game.
God forbid Penn State would be in his thought process.
Yeah, give me the Madden.
You're not going
where
Notre
I can
Dame.
Go in and get all the throwback jerseys. I can just mix and match every color I want. Yes,
he's a fashion. He's a fashion icon. Zach is, so he wants to have variety.
Notre Dame, Alabama, Penn State, Texas, all those eliminated up front for you. No chance. If you haven't changed your helmet,
it's just one singular color.
If you haven't changed your helmet in the last week, Zach has no room for you.
Sorry.
If you're wearing the same helmet this week you wore in week 1, no chance.
So what the Tigers wore on the 901 helmets?
They did last week. Yes.
So I expect them to wear some type of combination of the blue stripe with the blue and black stripe helmets.
I love also the off shade blue, that lighter blue color. There's just they do have a lot of variety. The Tigers helmets. Okay, let's get to our listeners. Again, you can get your list in, sneak it in here under the wire, 901-360-8255.
John has number 5, Vanderbilt's gold helmet. Number 4, the Bengals.
That's a good one.
Number 3, the Chargers. Number 2, the Miami Dolphins. And number 1, John, smart man, every Alabama helmet ever made.
Only one.
How many different ones have they had?
It's only one. It's just the one
It's a
crimson
good
helmet.
It's a good list. I like
That's
his,
the point.
I like his taste in the NFL helmets too that he brought up. I do. I like all of them.
Michael, number 5, Florida State. Number 4, the Rams, the St. Louis version.
Okay.
Number 3, North Carolina. Number 2, Georgia. Number 1, the Ole Miss Powder Blues.
I almost put the Ole Miss Powder Blues on my list. That's a great helmet. His second one was Georgia. Georgia just to me has there's nothing to it. It's kind of like people love that Chicago. Who had the Jerry Palm had Chicago Bears. Of course, he's from that area, and so it wasn't a surprise he had him on their list. But like the Chicago Bears, it's like okay. Georgia, it's all right.
I don't mind Georgia's. They're not. I mean, they're not one of my favorites, but
Yeah, I mean, I guess
I like
tradition.
I like the fact that it's the same.
Mm-hmm.
See, I'm the opposite of that. I want ones that are. This is your helmet.
Stick with it.
Yes. And the Tigers have some helmets I like. I just don't like the fact that you have 20 different helmets. No name on this one. Number 5, L.A. Chargers. Number 4, Alabama. Number 3, the Colts. Number 2, the Bengals. And number 1, the Cowboys.
It's good there for a second.
Let's see here. Joey. Number 5, the Tigers, Memphis Tigers white with stripes.
Mm-hmm. Like those.
Number 4, San Jose State, black with red stripe. Bulldog on the side and a green V on the back.
Wow, I got to see those. I can't even vision those.
Number 3, Michigan State, dark green, bright green Spartan logo.
Mm-hmm.
Number 2, Ole Miss Powder Blues.
Okay.
And number 1, oh God, this person needs help. Maryland.
You guys are coming through for me. Jay Morgan Harder, our producer extraordinaire, comes in with his list. J-Mo trying to bring the funny, as he usually does. Number 5, The Guardian. Number 4, Leather. Number 3, Helmet with no face mask. Number 2, Helmet with single bar face mask. Number 1, Pittsburgh Steelers. Thank you, J-Mo.
Sean has honorable mention to Navy. Number 5, Ohio State. Number 4, Notre Dame. Number 3, Boston College. Number 2, Penn State. Number 1, Cleveland Browns.
Cleveland Browns.
So doesn't like logos on his helmets.
Okay.
Obviously.
Okay. It's a personal
right?
choice.
That's none of them have a logo.
Who do you say? Browns?
It's Navy, Ohio State, Notre Dame, Boston College, Penn State, Cleveland Browns.
Right. Ohio State has just the stickers, right?
Well, they have the Buckeye stickers, but otherwise their helmet is just silver.
Yeah, that's true.
So he is not a logo person. That's fine. I got no problem with that.
No,
I like a lot of those helmets.
Not at all.
Tennessee Tom, honorable mention to the Tigers chrome with blue stripes. Number 5, Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
Okay.
Number 4, Florida State. Number 3, Oregon. Number 2, Tennessee's smoky gray. And number 1, Tennessee.
He likes the Tennessee smoky gray ones. I don't like those.
I like those.
But but Tom had on who did he have like at number 4? Tom.
Florida State.
How about 3?
Oregon.
How about 5?
Buccaneers.
That's the one I was going to ask about. Do you like all Buccaneers, or is it just the...
He says new or old.
Okay, so he does like the pewter ones. I don't like the pewter ones. The old ones, though, that's great. That whole thing, that whole jazz, the whole uniform, the helmet, everything from the 70s, Doug Williams. Oh, man.
Danny, number 5, Memphis State, 81-85.
Okay.
Number 4, Memphis State, 93-94.
I don't remember those specifically.
Number 3, the Houston Oilers, 80s style.
Good one.
By the way, the University of Houston, the Oilers throwbacks they wore.
Fantastic.
I would make, if I was them, I'd immediately make those my permanent uniforms.
Fantastic.
And it's correct because it's the city.
Don't start with that again.
Number 2, Michigan. And number 1, Minnesota Vikings 70s style.
Yeah. You know what? I do like that Vikings 70s. I do like
Bobby, number 5, Tennessee Vols Standard. Number 4, Tennessee Smoky Gray. Number 3, North Carolina. Bigfoot. Oh, the foot on there as well. Okay. Number 2, Oregon Ducks. Number 1, Memphis Tigers reflective silver.
So those chrome ones? Is that what we're talking about?
He says, worst ever, Alabama put something on there besides a damn number. That's what makes it great.
By the way, how often does Tennessee wear the smoky grays? Once a year? Once a season?
They're wearing them this week, I believe.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm asking the question, but I can't imagine they wear maybe a couple times they use them.
Let's see here. Number 5, Texas. Number 4, USC. Number 3, Oregon. Number 2, the Chargers. And number 1, Ole Miss powder blue.
The only problem I have with USC, I kind of like the color and the logo. The logo always seems small to me. I think it should be like a little bigger.
John says the Browns are the most boring helmets.
It's just one color.
Yeah, the Browns helmets suck. Like I'm not a fan. Like I like Notre Dame with the gold helmet. Like I like helmets without logos on them. The Browns helmets suck. Browns uniforms
it's the color
overall.
brown.
It's just they're just blah.
Brown and orange.
Yeah. Just one color.
Great color combo there.
There's nothing good about the Browns uniforms. I will say this. I got one on Twitter here too that I needed to get to. Where did that go? Carolyn, number 5, New England Patriots, the old Patriots.
Yep. On my
number
list.
4, the Redskins.
Okay.
Number 3, the Dolphins. Number 2, North Carolina State. And number 1, Memphis Tigers, white with the blue stripes. Here's what I could say I'm very proud of, people, our listeners, and folks who have texted in. We did not get one mention of LSU. If you look at, like, a lot of people like LSU's helmet, it is terrible. To me, LSU's helmet might legitimately be the worst helmet in college football. It's horrendous. The tiny little tiger head makes no sense. And now with the new helmets, the LSU part of it, like they've got those openings in the helmets, like the L looks like a different letter sometimes because the little opening is there. Those helmets are absolutely terrible, and people seem to like them. There's nothing good about that helmet.
I don't like the helmet.
Take the tiger off of it and just put LSU on it, or take the LSU off and just put the tiger on it. Don't try and put both on there.
I like the color scheme for LSU, but I don't like the helmet particularly as well.
So I'm glad we did not get an LSU mention. I'm proud of y'all.
That it?
We got one other Maryland mention other than Greg's stupid Maryland mention.
Hey, we got a Colts mention. We got a Maryland mention.
That's one. That's fine. I'll let you get away with one. But at least we did not get any LSUs. That would have been a travesty to get Maryland and LSU both mentioned. What is not a travesty is going over to Genesis Diamonds. If you're in the market for jewelry, especially diamonds, engagement rings, whatever budget you have, well, they've got something for you at Genesis Diamonds, and they've got great people there to help you find exactly what it is you're looking for. And they're not commissioned salespeople trying to pressure you to buy the most expensive thing in the store. They got a beautiful showroom. They've got a selection that is second to none. You will not find a bigger selection anywhere in town, and the prices are second to none. Matter of fact, they guarantee the lowest price over at Genesis Diamonds. So if you're in the market for some jewelry, especially an engagement ring, but any fine jewelry, including pre-owned Rolex watches, don't go anywhere else. Don't buy anywhere else until you have at least tried the experience at Genesis Diamonds. Just go over there, walk in, talk to the folks there, check out the selection. It's going to blow you away. Just give it a try if you haven't done it yet. They've been here now a couple of months, 2-3 months. They've been in Nashville, and they've become the dominant jeweler there. They've been in Louisville and Cincinnati, same thing. Now they're here in Memphis, located in the Poplar Commons Shopping Center, Poplar and Perkins Extended, right there in the middle of the shopping center. If you're in the market for fine jewelry, go see them. Go see the folks at Genesis Diamonds.
There's video of Dylan Brooks in the hallway waiting for his team to come back from the floor after they won today over Serbia, and he's got boxing gloves on, and he's boxing. It wouldn't surprise me whatsoever, and I don't know the situation where he got ejected and Doncic, what exactly happened, but it wouldn't be beyond Dylan Brooks strategy-wise to take out Doncic. He's out. Doncic is out. I don't know what else Serbia has, but Canada ended up winning the game.
Well, they were up by like 16 with 4 minutes.
Oh, when it happened?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
okay.
so what happened was
Dylan
hit a three. He taunted one of the Slovenian players.
Shocking.
He got ejected, and then Luka, I think the following next play, argued for a foul, thought he got hit, and then that's when he got ejected.
Oh, so they were both separate?
Yeah, it was separate incidents.
I was assuming that they did something to each other.
Yeah.
That they got into. All right. We'll take a break, come back, wrap it up. This is Sports 56 Mornings with Greg and Eli on Real Sports Talk, Sports 56 and 98.5 FM.
Broadcasting from the Family Leisure Studio, we are Sports 56 and 98.5 FM.
We interrupt this broadcast for special news and information concerning family leisure.
The world's biggest spa sale is back and bigger than ever at Family Leisure. How is that possible? Well, let me tell you. You start off with 50 different spa models to choose from 5 different manufacturers. Then you throw in up to 30% off in-stock spas and swim spas. But is that all? Oh, no. You get free upgrades on all in-stock spas, plus 24 months, same as cash. Wow! This is the kind of sale that you just can't have every day. But it's happening right now at Family Leisure, the world's biggest spa sale. Soak in the savings right now at Family Leisure, Witten Road and I-40. You know the place where family and fun come together.
Please remain calm and walk. Don't run to Family Leisure. And now back to your regular programming.
Country music singer-songwriter Kylie Morgan absolutely loves her Genesis diamond ring.
I got so many compliments as soon as I got the ring and continue to get compliments on it, because it looks really pretty on my finger.
Kylie's husband Jay heard folks in the music industry raving about Genesis, but he also did a lot of homework on his own.
When it came to finding the ring, he took it very seriously. He did all the research. I think he knows more about diamonds than any man in the entire world, and that's how he landed on Genesis. He just knew that they were the best.
Jay picked out a stunning, flawless, pear-shaped diamond in an elegant setting. Got the value price Genesis is known for. And now they both tell everyone they meet about the amazing Genesis experience.
When you walk into Genesis, you can just feel the happiness. You know that they're helping find something that symbolizes the love that you have for your partner, and you can feel that as soon as you walk through the door.
Always been you, and I've always been your wife.
Genesis Diamonds at Poplar and Perkins Extended.
Is your roof leaking? Do you have water damage on your ceiling of your home or business? Do you need assistance gathering much-needed data and images from your storm-damaged roof for an insurance claim? Call Metro Builders, roof and restoration specialists, and schedule your free inspection. At Metro Builders, our team of Hague-certified technicians and fully trained estimators are ready to come out and evaluate any concerns you may have. Metro Builders Roof and Restoration. We accept all insurance carrier scopes. Call Metro Builders now. Each and every day, we provide clients many different types of data and estimates for their insurance carrier. These include estimate and photo reports of all damage, from the roof to water damage on rafters and ceilings and even studs and plates inside walls. Check out the local BBB for our 27-year history in construction in Memphis, or check us out online today at metrobuildersmemphis.com. That's metrobuildersmemphis.com for your local residential and commercial roofing and restoration experts. Call me. 901-375-1717. That's 901-375-1717.
Do you know one of the best things you can do for your employees or family's health? Provide Arctic Clear bottled water. Arctic Clear bottled water is your locally owned and operated bottled water provider. Arctic Clear is 100% natural spring water with free delivery and setup, dependable service, and no long-term contracts. What an easy choice. Call Jeff Manus today, 901-382-2363, or visit arctic-clear.com. Arctic Clear bottled water. Call now, 382-2363. That's 382-2363.
Now back to Sports 56 Mornings on Sports 56 and 98.5 FM. This hour is brought to you by Acura of Memphis.
Okay, this car looked great wrapped around you,
Here once again, Greg Gaston and Eli Savoy.
The body's a temple, that's why we're talking.
Tennessee Tom says Tennessee has only worn the Smoky Grays 5 times since 2015. They're 4-1.
Wow. So special occasion. And they're wearing them this week, you said?
I think they're wearing them this week. Maybe I'm wrong. I thought I saw them.
Aren't they playing like Austin P?
They're wearing them sometime soon, I believe. If I remember. I'm pretty sure I saw a picture of them on Twitter, and so I assumed it was this week. Maybe
it's Florida.
Incorrect as far as. And by the way, Zach, 2005 was that last NFC East repeat champion. So
yeah.
So we're going on 18.
That's incredible.
18 years without a repeat champion, which is why, again, the Cowboys will win the division and not the Eagles.
You think the
Maybe
Giants
it'll be
have
the
a chance to
Giants.
win? You think the Giants got a chance to win the division?
I got them in the playoffs. So if I got them in playoffs, I would say they have a
Maybe
chance.
it'll be the Commanders.
I don't
Maybe the
think-
Commanders will win it.
I don't see them winning the division, but I've got them in the playoffs. So certainly I think they would, if Saquon is healthy all year, it wouldn't be a complete shock.
So updated college football odds for week number 2 has not changed the line with Memphis and Arkansas State since I talked yesterday to you about it. 21.5. Tigers favored by 21.5. The last game in Jonesboro 2 years ago, Memphis won 55-50. So Arkansas State made the furious comeback. Other games of interest, local teams, SEC schools, regional teams. Wake Forest at home, a 10-point favorite over Vanderbilt. Notre Dame and NC State should be an interesting game, with Notre Dame a 7.5-point favorite on the road at NC State. Nebraska, Colorado. Colorado now a 3-point favorite over Nebraska, playing in Boulder. Let's see. We have Tulane and Ole Miss. Still 7. Ole Miss a 7-point favorite at Tulane against the Green Wave on Saturday. Texas A&M is a 4.5-point favorite on the road at Miami. Iowa 4-point favorite at their rival Iowa State. Texas State coming off the big upset win over Baylor. They are a 12.5-point dog at Texas San Antonio. No respect for Texas State coming off the upset win. Arkansas 38-point favorite over Kent State from the American Conference. Or Kent State from the MAC, from the MAC. Tulsa plays at Washington. They are from the American Conference. Washington a 34-point favorite. Tennessee is playing Austin Peay, so no line that I see here with the FBS versus FCS. SMU will play at Oklahoma. Expected to do much better than Arkansas State did, but Oklahoma is still a favorite of 15.5 points over SMU. UAB travels to Georgia Southern. That's Clay Helton's team, right? Georgia Southern?
Mm-hmm.
And Georgia Southern is a 7.5-point favorite over Trent Dilfer and UAB. Texas and Alabama, it's Bama by 7 over the Longhorns in Tuscaloosa. Oregon is 6.5-point favorite on the road at Texas Tech. Missouri a 20.5-point favorite over Middle Tennessee State at home. Boise is a 3.5-point dog at home to UCF. Houston a 10-point favorite at Rice. Let's see, got a couple more here. Mississippi State a 9-point favorite over Arizona at home. Rutgers 9 over Temple from the American Conference. And that's about it.
The Tennessee, the reason they are wearing the smoky grays this week, it is the Artful Dodger smoky gray uniform. They are going to have a new design every year of the smoky grays. And this one is to pay homage to Condredge Holloway, and this will be Saturday will be the 51st anniversary of his first start for Tennessee. And so that is why they are wearing them this week. This is the Artful Dodger version of the smoky gray uniform.
I didn't know that was his nickname, the Artful Dodger. Didn't we have Condredge Holloway on the show? I'm pretty sure we did. By the way, Cal is a 6.5-point dog at home to Auburn this weekend, week number 2 of college football. And one final note from the world of tennis, the U.S. Open is going on. Novak Djokovic makes the Grand Slam or the U.S. Open semifinal. It's his 47th Grand Slam semifinal that he's made. That now eclipses his tie with Roger Federer. They were both at 46. Novak Djokovic now at 47, and I believe he'll take on Ben Shelton in the semis, the American youngster who has been terrific. That'll do it for us today. I want to thank Jerry Palm and DeMichael Cole for joining us on the program. Tomorrow we'll be busy. Ryan Silverfield and the Tiger Football Report, the AutoZone Liberty Bowl Inside College Football Hour, plus Kerry Miller talking Major League Baseball. Waldo and Friends on Sports 56 is next. For Eli and Zach, I'm Greg. Have a great day, everybody.